Hello! Why can we only see me?
Pre-stream dance? Are we dancing?
Why can we only see me? There we go, we got it. Okay.
No dance.
Pre-stream dance. Gotta do
want
that
to.
pre-stream dance. Pre-stream
I
dance.
can't
Pre-stream
dance anymore.
dance.
I
Gotta
sat
do
back
that
down.
pre-stream dance. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first patron exclusive live stream. Thank you everybody so much for being here. I think most everybody in the chat is just us, but you know what? That's fine. Welcome.
Gerbil and Madam.
The mods are here.
here.
No, Magil of Shadow is here. Magil of Shadow is here, and that's what matters.
Kronos was here.
Kronos was here. Ball Cam Pit goes crazy here. To be fair, Madam's also a patron, so he counts. He can be here.
Yeah.
He can be here. He didn't just get it here on the mod charge.
I always forget because Gerbil's such a shill that Gerbil isn't a patron.
Yeah, Gerbil is not actually.
That's hysterical to me.
Okay.
Welcome.
Well, welcome everybody to this interview with all of the club members from Higurashi. They are, I'm sure you'll recognize some people, you might not recognize some others. Some people have been around for fucking years, and some people are new. So, how we're gonna do this tonight is you're very new.
So new.
So new. Has not been here for 6 years. So how this is gonna work is I have a bunch of questions I'm gonna ask these lovely people with me, and then after that we're gonna open up the floor if anybody else has any questions for them out in the chat, and then we're going to wrap up the stream by announcing the cast for Steins Gate. So that's very exciting. So we might as well get started, I believe. So my first question for all y'all out there right now. Thank you. Oh dear. Please stop doing that. Okay, cool. We're back. So my very first question is obviously to introduce yourselves, your name, who you played, and anything else you want the viewers to know about you. I think we're gonna go from top to bottom, if that makes sense. So like we're gonna go in the rows. So like Dragon will be first, and then Allimiece and Bo, and then Bunny and Cat.
I don't know.
If that works out for you guys. Okay, so Dragon, you want to start? I already kind of introduced you.
I was gonna say, yeah, I guess they know who I am.
Yeah, they do.
If they didn't already.
Yeah.
I'm Dragon. I'm the funny animated guy in the corner. I play Keiichi. You could probably tell that just by listening to me speak.
Nope.
And I also I edited 1.5 videos of the Higurashi series.
Woo!
I was that guy that did all the funny stuff.
That's
The silly little
those
things.
goofs and
the silly
gaffs.
things, the goofs and
That was
gaffs.
me. That's it. That is I.
Okay, all right. Next up is Allimiece, I think.
Hello, I am Allimiece. I think everyone here knows me, but maybe they don't. So. Hi, I'm.
I don't know you. Who are you?
The only person who's been here longer than Dragon.
Literally.
I have been here the whole time. And I played Miya Takano, Rena Ryuugu, and occasionally Oryu Sonozaki.
Woo! Anything else you want them to know about you?
Subscribe. Like.
yeah, link in the description.
Subscribe. Like.
Button.
I don't know.
All right.
Allimiece, I hate to break it to you. This is a Patreon stream. I think everyone's subscribed already.
Oh.
You know what? Who knows?
Well, listen, if they're all subscribed to me, they should subscribe to you.
There you go.
I don't post anything. Don't subscribe.
All right, Bo is next, I believe.
Hello, I'm Bowie. You guys have known me under multiple usernames, which I keep changing. I'm so sorry. So you would have known me originally as Teeny Tiny Draws, and then I was Bowie Knife, and now I'm faeriedusk, and I'm still working on changing that everywhere, so don't worry about it. But I have been here a good while. Not like, and actually, time is an illusion. How long have I been on the channel?
Couple years.
Couple years now, yeah, because we did Valhalla.
Yep.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was all the way back in Valhalla days.
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm in the ball pit. I don't know.
Bo, who'd you voice?
Killing.
Bo, who'd you voice?
Oh, I was that's a great question.
Bo doesn't even remember the name of their character.
Look, I don't remember a lot of things, but yes, that was
Satoko
Satoko,
Hojo.
and you would also know me as Dorothy if you watched the Valhalla series.
Yes, and Noelle from Delta.
Oh my god, yeah,
Well, actually, Bo, you voiced 2 characters in Higurashi.
You did.
Yes, I
You
did
also
do-
voiced
I
Rena.
did do another voice, and yes, that is right.
Yes.
I was Rena, not
Yes.
Rena, but Rena.
Rena. Very confusing. All right, Bunny's next.
Oh shoot! Hi, I'm gonna drop my full name. I'm Amanda Nicole Mead, but also Bunny, and I played Rika Furude in episodes 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want us to know about you?
I mean, I would say my username on Patreon and Instagram is Honor Lasser, but like then I have to spell it.
That's right.
AON.
Is it in the description?
I have her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, and I have that.
All right, and finally, last but not least.
Oh. Me.
You.
I'm Kakaina Cat. I played Hangyu.
Wow.
Ella. And I stream on Twitch and do mini painting commissions for games.
Also, Mr. Sir wants to know what food item is behind you, Cat.
These are chicken nuggets.
Which is
These are chicken.
The
nuggets.
superior food.
It's true. It's true.
They're not dinosaur shaped though, so I
They-
take a little offense to that.
I couldn't find a good photo of dinosaur nuggets.
All right. So this first question for all y'all is, how did you originally get involved with the channel? To be fair, I never introduced myself. I should probably introduce myself really quick.
Probably.
You should, yeah.
I'm a hedgehog. I played Mion, Shion, and Akane Sonozaki. All the Sonozakis, all the time.
You also played the narrator
did-
of the main video.
I did play the.
Yeah.
I was the narrator. I did play the narrator of the main video. That was me.
You played the character Hedgehog,
I played
that
Hedgehog.
animated character.
Yeah, I played Hedgehog, that animated character, modeled by the Dragon Ball Z.
The narrator of
If I wasn't already enjoying pizza, tenders would be amazing. The Superior Family, of course. I see.
Madam.
Who the fuck
and there
was
goes
that?
Gerbil posting all the links to
Yep,
everybody in chat like
absolutely.
an absolute champion.
Thank you, Gerbil.
Wow.
Okay, so the second question is, how did you originally get involved with the channel? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's my channel. I started it. Duh. Dragon, take it away.
Well, I mean, that is a good opportunity to say, how did you start the channel? Like, what got you into?
That's true, I
starting
guess.
this?
Okay. This is gonna be about you guys, but I guess. All right. So
You're in the club too.
I suppose.
You're the
I
leader of the
suppose.
club.
In the club, literally the lead.
I suppose. Okay.
You led the club.
Oh God, Dragon, please. So, back in my senior year of high school, I did a couple of random vocal dubs of Homestuck and Undertale and SCP on this original channel right here. And when I got to college, I've told this story 50 million times. Most everybody probably knows it already. But when I got to college, they promised me that there were jobs on campus for everybody and their mom. That was not the case. I knew a couple people who had work study who had to go work at Starbucks instead because they couldn't get a job on campus. And so obviously I applied to a couple jobs, couldn't get any. So out of desperation, because I desperately wanted to buy my own groceries and not have to eat the gross cafeteria food. Sorry, Allimiece.
Yeah, Allimiece, did you cook all
Yeah,
the
Allimiece
cafeteria
cooked all the food herself. I started doing SCP dubs on YouTube, and then in September of 2017, right after I started, Doki Doki Literature Club came out, a little game called Doki Doki Literature Club. And I started doing dubs of that, and I was one of the OG people who did DDLC content, so I blew up that way. And the rest was downhill from there. A couple years ago, I switched my main style content to analysis stuff because I had a newly minted English degree and I figured I should use it. And here I am.
All right.
Here I am. All right, Dragon. Actually, wait. This one question, let's go with order of who joined the channel. So actually, Allimiece should start.
That's probably
so
a good
Allimiece
idea,
should
yeah.
start.
Okay. I happened to get involved with the channel because Hedge and I were college suite mates who lived like one door away from each other, literally within the same suite.
We shared a
And
toilet.
they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
I honestly thought you were gonna say college sweethearts.
No, not quite.
Not
no.
quite.
I'm not public with that info
Yeah.
yet. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, scratch that from the record. Madam, scratch that from the record.
Chat, don't clip it.
But yeah, I don't know. We became friends through just like a shared love of video games and stories. And Hedge knew that I was in the theater program, and she had like something for a creative writing class that was needed to become a audio drama.
We still need to
So
re-record
she-
that.
Probably, yeah. It was fun. I liked
No,
that
it
story.
was great. I need to just re-record it with you and actually people who can voice act.
Fair.
Was that? I'm
Um,
assuming you're talking about case number 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a voice in that, and she was like, "Wow, the theater major is actually competent." And I was like, "Thank you. I hope so."
Thank you so much. I paid for this knowledge.
And yeah, we played DDLC together. At one point, she roped me into playing it, and then we just sort of went from there.
Yeah, she was the first person to ever properly appear on the channel besides me. Besides Case File 36, she played Yuri in a couple of videos in DDLC, and first ever person I ever collaborated with.
And
In
look
the
at
streams and stuff, too.
it.
What, Dragon?
In the early streams too, like
Yup.
you'd be streaming like
Yeah,
Portal, and
yeah.
Elvis would just come into the room and sit down and be like, "What's up?"
Up.
Specifically
on?
Cuphead. I entered the stream so awkwardly. I rewatched that stream opening like 2 years ago, and how awkward I was lives rent free in my brain.
It was
But,
cute. It was
It was
cute.
cute awkward, I hope. So.
Of course.
A little
It's
bit of
great.
stuff.
I just remember the chat went absolutely ballistic.
They
though.
did. They're like, oh my god, it's Yuri! It's Yuri!
Yeah, maybe not for the best.
Maybe
though,
not for the
but-
best of reasons, but they did go ballistic. Alright, Dragon's next!
So, I'm fictional. I don't exist. I was never involved in the chat.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I
Oh, Greyman's here. Hi, Greyman.
Gray Man.
Greyman.
So I started off just like you, viewer, watching the content from that side of the screen. No, I randomly in college, I was sitting in my dorm, not really doing much of anything, and I've never ever sorted YouTube, like searched like the tags of YouTube. Like I've never done that before. And randomly I just decided I'm gonna go on the voice acting tag because I started off as an impressionist before I actually did voice acting with Hedge here. But I was an impressionist and starting to kind of get into voice work a lot. So I was like, you know what, let me just sort the voice acting tag. Why not? And one of the first videos that came up was Monica plays Bendy in the Ink Machine, number 2, I think it was.
The funny thing about that too is I wasn't tagging my videos with voice
Aw.
acting then. That was the only one I did on a whim, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Aw,
crazy.
So it was luck.
Ridiculous.
So
Aw.
I've told this to Hedge. This isn't a surprise. I literally like clicked on the video like, oh, this is gonna suck. I gotta see this. Because like not to shit on anything, but like normally when you see those videos pop
You
up
think
and
it's
like you're
gonna suck.
recommended, they're not typically the best. They can be, but they're not typically. So I was like, oh, let me I'm not gonna like be a jerk to this person, but let me just check this out. And then the voice acting was impeccable. And I was like, oh shit. Wow, that threw me off guard. So I was like, what does this person do? So I went through their channel and I saw that they did a lot of like dubbing of DDLC, but primarily they did their own original work. This is my shameless Edie Valley plug. If you're here, you probably read it, but go read it. Go read
It's
it.
so good. Go read it.
Go-
We
it's over
did.
there.
It's over there. Points to
Yeah.
the
point.
where
It's points somewhere.
Dribble the link!
Gerbil the link. But
link.
so I started
Wow.
listening to Edie Valley because I was like, why not? I like this person's voice. They're very, very talented. Let me just listen to what they got. And I ended up getting super, super hooked on the series. I would be drawing and practicing like on my drawing tablet, and I just have it going in the background. So then she announces she's gonna do her first live stream, and I said, cool. I'm gonna show up and watch her play Cuphead because I love Cuphead. I'm addicted to Cuphead. And so she started her stream. I started essentially a donation chain of people in the chat that were all like donating money because I was donating money because I was like, yeah, I'll throw some money to support this person.
Sim success stories.
Sim
I was about to
success
say,
story.
like,
Yeah, the
sim-
sim success story.
Simping, but okay.
Yeah, this is my legacy. This is my legacy. No, but and then it just kept going from there. I slowly like got more and more involved with Hedgehog, and we made a little friend group with a lot of the people that were early there, which are everyone that you guys heard in Higurashi or are if you're in the chat. We made this essentially this little friend group ended up forming, and you know, all these years later, and me and Hedge are an item. I'm
They're
voicing
so
main
cute.
characters, and that's kind of how the story goes. And I'm editing, I guess, slightly. We're working
And
on
they're
that.
roommates.
Oh my god,
And
they
they
are.
God, we were
are
roommates.
roommates.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god,
they're
we were
roommates.
roommates.
Y'all on that one fucking mouse.
All right, Bo's next.
Oh god, yeah, I guess I am like still like somewhat higher in seniority than people. That's weird.
I know.
Used to being the newbie.
Magil,
You
but
are
is there
not the
only
newbie
one
anymore.
bed? Yes, there is. We got a new one recently. It's a queen size bed now.
We now have a bed so
Hedge
big I
keeps
don't have to lay
talking
next
about
to
it at work.
It's a nice bed. All right, go ahead, Bo.
Yeah. So mine is kind of a funkier tale because for the longest I was actually high school friends with Dragon. We met I think because you were a year above me, right? You were a sophomore and I was a freshman, I think.
2 years above you.
Two? Was it two?
Yes. Because when I was a
yeah.
senior, you were a sophomore, right?
I don't know.
I don't know why I asked you like you know.
I've
yeah,
always
but
heard it was 2 years,
hard.
but
I thought it was 2 years. I'm like
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure it's 2 years.
Oh yeah, because I think you were I don't know. Anyway, we were
A year
he
or
was
two.
a year or two, likely two. My memory sucks, but year or two ahead of me. We met in anime club. 'Cause of course we did.
Let's go. That's the anime
and-
club.
Yeah, and he's like probably
Anime
one of the only
club.
people from that anime club that I still talk to, or anyone from high school.
Let's go.
But yeah, we both really liked nerdy shit. We both liked art. Like we would pass instead of passing normal notes in class, like neurotypical people do, we would pass like little doodles to each other, and we would have like doodle fights with each other.
Oh, there were
Like,
wars.
Aw.
There were wars.
a lot of wars.
Explains why he's so good at drawing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I had,
all
I had to bounce
practice.
off of this one.
No, but so yeah, we've been friends for a really long time, and you know, eventually he started getting involved with Belle and the channel, and I think Allimiece and Belle were like the only two female voice actors. At the
Yes,
time,
it was just the two of us for the longest time.
And while I don't really identify with the gender, I do have bobs and a high-pitched voice, so it works. But yeah, I was friends with Dragon, and he's dragged me into his bullshit, and I met the ultimately much better Belle because of him. So thanks for being my gateway drug to a better person.
That's my job. That's what
Yeah,
I do.
And so now we just bully him together.
Exactly. So literally, so Dragon and I were playing through Valhalla together before I decided to dub it fully, which I never quite finished, but I did get a good portion of the way. And we got to this character named Dorothy, and I'm like, who the hell would I get to voice Dorothy? And Dragon looks at me and he goes, we have to get Bo. Get Bo. I'm like, I've met Bo like twice. Get Bo. We're using Bo. Like, okay. And then Bo came in and nailed it. Take one. I'm like, great. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic.
Well, because we had already been discussing utilizing Bo's voice for the channel, and when you decided to do Valhalla, which I'm still to this day kind of sad we didn't. I loved Valhalla.
I know.
We can get there.
We'll get there. But like when we saw Dorothy, I just said, I know whose voice this fits really well and would love to voice this little robot.
Context. If you know anything about Dorothy, our high school friends group was called the Horror Circle, so it was really in line with.
No,
what
it was.
we
It really was.
That's what we called ourselves.
Yep.
So.
Which was funny because like almost everyone in that circle was a virgin. That's the best part.
Yeah, almost everyone was a virgin, and also I am like in gray spec. I'm in the asexual umbrellas.
It's just it worked out great, I think, for everybody.
Indeed. All right, so Bunny and Kat technically joined on the same video. Actually, Kat was first because Kat was in the Andy and Lily video.
Yeah,
So
I
Cat's
did
next.
do that.
So
I
Cat's
was the one
next.
you guys put in a box.
Yes, the bitch.
Oh God, I killed you.
You killed me.
We killed you. Dragon and I killed
In
you.
a box.
Go ahead, Kat.
Well, me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah.
I work with Hedgehog. That's how I met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get to see her every week. But yeah, we were talking at work, and I had like mentioned I did Twitch, and you had said you did your channel, and then I was checking out the videos, and I got into watching the Ide Valley playlist. Although I started on the wrong.
Rip.
Yeah,
Rip.
because I started with Das Vidanya, I think.
Yeah, that's to be fair. That's a pretty good place to start too.
And it was good, but then you told me, "Oh, you're on the wrong one," and I was like, "Shoot!"
Yeah, because you had to fast track it because you wanted to be there for the quiz stream.
I did. I got to be there for the second
You
quiz,
did,
which was
yep.
so much fun. And then you had mentioned, you were like, you know what? Have you ever thought about voice acting? And I was like, I thought it would be fun, but I never thought like how to go about getting into it and stuff. And you were like, you would be perfect.
Because up until I met you, I was going to have to be Hanyu. And as much as I adore Hanyu's character, I really didn't want to be Hanyu because my Hanyu voice wasn't going to be great. It was going to be passable. And I was like hoping secretly this entire time I was doing Higurashi, maybe I'll meet someone in between now and then who could voice Hanyu. And then I met Kat and I was like, thank you, Lord in heaven.
You're like, my Hanyu has been summoned.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah.
And finally, Bunny! The newest member of our group!
Hi! Oh, wow. Okay, so I actually got involved in this through the Higurashi videos because I love Higurashi, kind of obviously. And I also love acting, voice acting, and it's been like a dream of mine one day to voice Rena, but so I reached out originally and was like, "Hey, do you ever like take auditions or something? Just like, and they were like, maybe you can send something." So I sent something. Rena was already cast, but they were like, "Oh, I'll keep you in mind." And then they reached out like a couple months later, like, "Oh, yeah, actually our Rika dropped out, so if you want to voice Rika." And I was like, "Yes."
Yes, please.
Well, literally. So I get auditions from people pseudo regularly, and 9 times out of 10 they're not good. Like they're just usually not good. That's just tends to be what happens. So I have to maintain some caution when I get solicited for auditions. But Bunny's like, hey, I want to try this. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a listen. And then immediately I was like, oh, she's for real. Oh, okay. Oh, she's for real. And I felt bad because I was like, I'm going to need to leave her on red for so long. But then I got really lucky. Our original Rika went to Italy for college for a year. And I was like, she's already a little bit hard to get into contact with sometimes. This is not going to work out. So I was like, I can get Bunny to do it. So yeah, and that's,
Yay.
it was great. All right. So moving on to question 3. This one's just for Dragon. Everybody gets a question all their own for themselves. So I kept you in the dark about all of the twists and turns of Higurashi, because for those of you who don't know, Dragon didn't know anything about Higurashi before we started.
Yeah, I've never heard, I've heard of Higurashi before we did this, but like I didn't know anything about it.
And it worked out really, really well because Keiichi has to deal with all the twists and the turns of the story as it's happening pretty much. So I kept him in the dark on purpose, and I only told him what was happening chapter by chapter. What was the twist that surprised you the most?
See, I think the obvious answer is the fact that Keiichi is like not the main character, like chapter 1 versus the rest of the story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like that Keiichi is crazy. Like, I guess if you're here, spoilers, but like the fact that Keiichi seems to be the sane one in the first chapter, and then you slowly learn, oh no, that boy batshit. he is not at all in the right here. And I feel like that's the obvious answer, but for me specifically, it was a lot of the stuff that happened with chapter 3, actually. The fact that, like, the rest of the answer arc kind of shows you what was kind of going on behind the scenes of like why bodies were disappearing, why characters were acting certain ways, why this happened, why that happened. Again, the whole like a lot of the revealing of this is why Keiichi has these like weird memories and stuff like that. And I think a lot of that was some of the twists that really like affected me the most. Specifically, I know this isn't confirmed anywhere by word, but the fact that it was most likely like Mion who moved Teppei's body away and stuff like that. Like the mechanics of the story not aligning with what we've read for the past like 2 or 3 chapters, I think just blew my mind and really opened me up to like, wow, this is what Higurashi's like capable of. Like it was good in the chapter 1, but like it got to the point where I was like, oh, this is the shit that people read for. This is what it's all about. I think that's what really hit me the hardest.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's honestly one of my favorite parts too. Is the answer arcs revealing all these little details that didn't make sense, and all of a sudden it all clicks together in this beautiful way.
You should have seen her like giggling evilly every time we were recording, and I'm like, so why does Keiichi like say this? This is kind of weird. And she goes, I don't know. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna have to like figure this out by myself. She's gonna be no help to me.
And then we'd sit down and we'd watch the
Love an
episodes together.
unreliable
We'd sit down and watch the episodes together when they came out, and he'd just look over me at least a couple times each episode and going, oh my god, really?
Yeah, because my Higurashi experience was her videos. Like I, to this day, I still haven't actually like read through it. It's like that was my experience. So experiencing it kind of live and the twists and turns actually happening as I was set to voice them.
And that's part of the reason why I started making those videos in the first place, specifically for Dragon, but Allimiece, a couple of other my friends who will never ever read visual novels, and I really wanted them to know the stories of them because they're so fucking good, but I'm the only one who reads anymore.
Who reads? I'm dyslexic. I can't.
So I wanted to make these videos in order to bring these stories to more people, and Dragon's specifically one of the people I wanted to bring them to, and Allimiece as well. So yeah. All right. Question 4 for everybody. What was your favorite chapter to record? I guess I'll start because I'm here and I did record stuff.
Wait, you were in the video?
I was in the
Wait, you what?
The narrator, remember?
So, most people will think that Chapter 5 was my favorite, and indeed, Chapter 5 was very fun. My favorite chapter was actually Chapter 3, and that's specifically because that was the moment when Dragon had to go from, like, faking it with Keiichi to actually, like, doing some real fucking acting. And there was a lot of moments where he had to retake lines, like, 3 to 4 times. I really had to, like, here's your motivation, here's what you're thinking, here's this exact tonation I need, and here's why you do it like this so that it feels better. And ever since that chapter, I've had to direct him way less. And it was a lot of fun just seeing him and everybody, of course, through the whole course of this story. But specifically, it was fun seeing Dragon go from faking acting to actually acting.
Yeah, Higurashi taught me a lot.
It did.
Keiichi specifically taught me a lot about how to actually like act, like to be an actor.
On a stage.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, it is now Dragon's turn. What was your
award? I'd like to thank Keiichi.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Keiichi for his weird rant about how baked goods are sexy? Question mark.
All right, that leads us over to Dragon. Dragon, what was your favorite chapter to record?
I did like, again, going back to chapter 1, I did like kind of being in the dark and having to like react like I thought Keiichi would, like how I would in the moment. I do think that chapter 3 was fun because I got to essentially play opposed to Jax, who was Oishi, which was a really fun dynamic for the two of us who had been buddy cops for the past 2 episodes. I actually really, really liked it was chapter 6 is the one where Rena becomes a conspiracy theorist. Again, for the same reason where me and Allimiece, who had been like buddy sleuths throughout most of this, or opposed in like the first chapter or 2, are now like completely diametrically opposed to each other. But ultimately, if I have to be 100% honest with myself, my favorite recording session was when we got all the idiots together and we voiced the stupid scene at the maid cafe where they were like running around trying to keep the otakus in line and like
Aw.
putting like what was it, laxatives
Yeah,
in
laxatives.
their
They're,
baked
yeah.
goods,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh no.
having Tyrant, who is this incredibly deep.
He
like,
played
he was-
Kasai.
Kasai, having him come out and be like, "Master, please,
Oh,
I need to go
God.
to the bathroom," and it was so funny.
As
I
Madam
love
says,
that
his
Madam's
steak was
steak got
cold.
cold. That made it even funnier. Sorry, Madam, but I think that was for what, chapter 2?
That was chapter 2, yep.
Because that was with the Mion and Shion swap
Yep,
up,
mhm.
which I also think was one of the big twists that I really liked, was the reveal of the two of them. But I think that had to be my favorite of all the recording sessions. I think that was my favorite.
All right, Allimiece, what was your favorite chapter?
My favorite chapter to record was definitely chapter 6 with, Rena's whole arc into madness.
Uh-huh.
I like voicing people having mental breakdowns. What can I say? It's fun.
That's why I want to do
get be
Higurashi.
really
Everybody gets a mental breakdown.
emotional. You get to be really emotional. If you're Rena, you get to be really angry. It's fun. But yeah, like her confession at the junkyard, which didn't make it into the analysis fully, but like the supplementary dub video was probably my favorite thing to record. But like the deranged dialogue in the school is definitely a close second. So,
Oh, like
I
pouring
would say chapter
gasoline on the
6.
class. and
Dude,
shit.
just dude,
Yeah.
that scene was literally. It felt like I just wound her up, and I just like, "Go, Allimiece," and she just went, and it was beautiful. It was awesome. It was so fun to see happen.
Chapter 1 was also really fun because like I didn't know what was going on because like Dragon, I didn't know anything about Higurashi. So I was just like, yeah, this child is just straight up evil.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I did not tell Allimiece the twist either. She thought she was just insane. It was great. It was great.
And so chapter 2 was also like, oh, hold on, she wasn't crazy. So that was, I think that was
She's
also the
actually
biggest
based.
twist for me.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
you were
chapter
like,
6.
God damn it, she typed me as Yuri again. This sucks.
Not again, man.
Listen, it works. All right, Bo, what was your favorite chapter?
Okay. Obviously, we got to bring in chapter 3 because that was some whack ass screen.
I just remember being in the call with you two and it tried to explain what happens in the final scene, and both of you going, "What?"
Excuse me.
Huh?
Having to go like, yeah, your mic peaked and Discord didn't pick up any of that, but I'm sure it sounded.
Oh yeah.
That was most of our recording sessions for chapter 3,
Yeah.
I think, were, yeah, your mic turned off, but sounded great.
I'm sure it turned off for a good reason. And, obviously, like, recording emotional scenes is always really fun. Like, I was a theater kid. I didn't do that much in school just because I had so much shit going on. But, like, for the, like, brief theater and, like, drama classes I had, I've always had fun, like, doing, like, dramatic monologues and whatnot. So getting to really tap into that was fun. But also, I've got to give an honorable mention to chapter 6 just because recording that scene and the fucking junkyard was really fun. Like, any of the times where we got, like, a good amount of people grouped up in a call to, like, record together was always really fun, especially because, at least I can speak for myself, this ADHD bitch can't stay on task for one moment, so we just got a lot of really fun outtakes that hopefully someday can resurface, but...
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean the depression
The
ghost?
depression
That was a
They
video.
don't
That
know
was
I
a
have a
video.
depression
That
ghost.
was a video.
That was good.
That outtake
Unfortunately,
was
the
so
nay-nay.
good. I literally
so
said, Dragon, I will
funny.
pay you $10. Please make this a video for me.
It was so funny.
It was so good. The editing was really good on that, by the
Yeah,
way. Dragon.
that was
You
Thank
that
fucking
was
you.
nailed it.
fantastic.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely chapter 6 and chapter 3 are probably some of my favorites because similarly, like Belle was doing for Dragon with like guiding him like with voicing emotional stuff, like Belle was definitely helping with me with a lot of that too.
I tried. You were
You
already
did a
doing
really
great.
good- Thank you.
I just gave you a couple
but
pointers. You also massively. I'm to be fair, you're already a great voice actor, obviously, but you also massively improved. And chapter 3 helped you a lot too. I feel so.
Thank you.
Great to see.
But yeah, I feel like it just really brought us together in like a lot of fun ways. We got to do like a lot of fun group recordings, and Belle was like able to be like a really good like guide and teacher to a lot of us, and it was so much fun. All of it was so much fun. But yeah, 3 and 6.
Nice. Now, Bunny and Kat, you two have a lot less to work with than the rest of us, but we'll start with Bunny. Which one was your favorite?
Well, I wrote in my notes, I love them both, obviously. But so the first one I actually only recorded like individually pretty much. And then so that was this chapter 7. And then chapter 8 I did it with the group. So I would probably say like chapter 8 was interesting to do with the group. I obviously just really love this content and doing it, so I enjoy it, but it was definitely a different experience from individual to with everybody else there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Getting
that's
to
that's
witness
why
involving.
I mentioned this in my update video, but I specifically really like to get a bunch of people together on a call because you feel the camaraderie come through in the recording. Like you really do. And I think that's why a lot of people have really jived with the voice acting on this channel, is just because I think it comes through. That we're all just trying to have a good time and all hanging out and being buddies and recording some dramatic ass shit.
Yeah.
Well, especially with that last chapter too, when we were able to get all of the club
Yeah, that was the
together,
first
like,
time all of the club members were in the
No.
room together. Like somebody was
Yeah.
always
Really
gone
gross
for every other
too.
chapter.
and because the club throughout the videos has been set up to be this like unit, it really did put us in that position of like you said, camaraderie. And I really, that was one of the ones that I forgot to mention too, was that last recording was really fun.
All right,
Yeah.
and Kat's last.
Me.
You.
Yeah, my favorite was definitely the last chapter, just because with getting you guys said, like getting everybody together in a call to do the recordings, it's so different than just doing recordings with like just yourself or like I mean even with one other person, like you still can get a lot of emotion out of a scene. Just because if you're by yourself, that can be a little harder to attain like a good interaction in dialogue. And so like having those scenes where like you're talking back and forth with like another cast member, like you really can feel like a lot more of the emotions that are supposed to be there. Like I know like for me, like one of the big scenes was when Hangyu is like not able to talk to anyone else and she's just watching everyone else like die around her and she just like can't do anything, and it's just like that's so sad. Like like it was so like I did cry during that one because it was just like so emotional of being like all these people that she learned to care about are now just all dying. Spoilers.
I think everybody here's seen the Higurashi videos,
I was
probably.
gonna say, yeah, everyone dies at some point. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. But it's like and like even in the last chapter it was like getting the whole like characters finally getting to see Hangyu, like that's like so much joy for her to finally like get to be able to like not just see everybody again, but she can like, you know, poke them if she really wanted to. And it's like that's just so cute.
Baby get some closure.
Yeah, get closure, you know, heal from the emotional damage.
Emotional
damage.
Damage.
All right. This next question is for Allimiece. Allimiece, by Rena's standards, who do you think is the cutest character in Higurashi?
Okay, so being my typical self, since I was given these questions in advance, I thought too hard about this.
I knew you would.
Same.
I thought too hard about this, so let me consult my notes as usual. So, if we think over Rena's choices for cute things in Higurashi, she seems to most frequently comment on characters exuding childlike innocence, cluelessness, or optimism. Is this a clue that she wishes she still had these things? Perhaps.
Who knows?
I love you psychoanalyzing Rena and making an
I was
essay
gonna
about
say,
this.
yeah, can we
This is
get like a
amazing.
red
This is
string board
amazing.
behind you?
It's amazing.
I connected the dots. Or like just being aesthetically cute, being someone younger than her and just being aesthetically cute also.
And Colonel Sanders.
as we all know. Chicken.
Oh,
See,
Yeah.
cat screen, chicken. It does.
chicken.
Cyclical. All comes together.
So, yeah. But like if I'm remembering correctly, and someone who knows the VN bunny could correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that she ascribes cuteness mostly to Satoko and Rika. Of course, Hanyu comes in at the end and is also in the cute rankings. But
There she is. Okay.
Satoko pushed her parents off her cliff in a fit of madness, which is not cute maxing behavior. So
Keep
Cute
that.
maxing.
Maybe in
in
some
her
circles,
defense,
I don't know.
Hinamizawa syndrome,
not cute
but not
maxing.
cute.
Maxing.
We all know that Rena holds like a deep, suppressed, I can't say this, dislike for Satoko's actions, which she feels put stress on Satoshi. Also not cute behavior. Not Satoko's fault, she's a kid. But this is taking Satoko out of the running. This is not cute maxing.
Rest in peace.
So, Hanyu,
Particularly attacked by this question.
Yeah.
another good option. Not figuring out how to step in until super long into Rika's suffering. Not cute behavior.
Yeah.
But standing by Rika's side through every cycle and doing her best to get Rena back to Hinamizawa so that she feels better. Yes, cute behavior.
Very cute.
So her shyness and her like a little bit of awkwardness, also cute behavior in Rena's
Mhm.
book. Her true nature being like a thousands of years old spirit who had a whole child. Perhaps not cute behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I'm
heard it
not
here
sure
first,
whether being an
folks.
ageless spirit is
Being a
like
mom?
cute
Not
maxing,
cute.
perhaps. But
I was a mom.
You were a mom.
So, well, of course, that leaves us with Rika. So gave into despair over all of the cycles, not cute maxing. But it was hundreds of repetitions, understandable. However, overcame that despair, which is very cute maxing. So, she also loves her friends enough to stand by their side throughout what we see in the game, which is ultimate cute behavior and loving your friends and standing
This
by
is a
their
long-winded way to say Keiichi. I don't know where you're going with this.
Absolutely not.
Classic
Um,
Keiichi behavior, making it all about you.
This is absolutely cute, non-maxing behavior. But yes, I think Rika is the cutest, but Hanyu is a close second.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Very good answer. Thank you for
Hey,
the
I was
essay.
really
We appreciate
running.
you, Allimiece, as always.
Oh, have you ever considered starting an
Analysis
analysis
channel?
channel?
Perhaps.
How
Side
about
channel,
cute
side
maxing
channel?
only?
The look of horror
Cute
on
maxing
Allimiece's face right
channel,
now.
yes.
I think Allimiece froze.
I think she did freeze.
Oh no.
But it is a look of sheer like I don't want to do that.
Oh, there she is. Oh god. She's blurred. Oh dear. Oh, there she is.
We
She's
broke
back.
her.
Blurry.
She's back. Okay. All right. So
There
question
you go.
question 6. Higurashi is full of a lot of really intense moments. This is for everybody, by the way. What was the hardest scene for you to record? As in most emotional or hardest to act, whichever you prefer. For me, I think it was chapter 5, the chapter where Shion tortures Satoko. That one was rough. I had to dig deep for that one, and I felt so bad. I'm sitting here, like, talking about, like, digging a knife into poor Bo's arm, like, and Bo's, like, the cutest person. I'm like, no! I'm so sorry!
Okay, I forgive you.
That one was rough. That one was rough. That one was pretty rough for me. Dragon!
I don't want to talk about this one. I don't want to talk about this one. So, was it chapter 2?
It was not chapter 2.
No,
It
chapter
was,
2 was when I had to like scream because I was being tortured. But that
Yeah.
one actually wasn't as bad as
It's chapter.
you-
I
surprisingly.
believe it's chapter 6 is the one you're looking for.
Chapter 6.
Is the big one about
Yes,
Rena.
it was
Yep.
because it was opposed to like Rena's
Yep.
despair and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's a scene where Keiichi has to be crying. That how many takes did that take?
10 minimum.
More than that.
Wow.
So I don't.
So many.
This is gonna sound like manly pride. I don't cry. It's not really a thing that I do. It's not a way that my body expresses itself. I don't know what it would sound like if I did. So I don't really know how to emulate that super well.
You went at one point.
So,
I
like
was
literally, I was like trying to like. The only thing that I knew was like comedic crying. So I just started going like. And she's like, "What are you doing?"
No.
I had to like try to coach him on how to cry to be like, you have to like go And I was trying to like, I'm like, dude, you've seen me cry so often. You gotta be able to know how to
Pretend
do
to be
it.
me. Yeah.
But literally, and so I was trying to do that, but like Keiichi wouldn't cry like she does. It just didn't make sense. I wasn't able to like do it. So we sat there for like
20
an
minutes.
hour.
20 minutes.
Aw.
Yeah, it was like 40 minutes trying to teach me how to cry because I didn't know how. And eventually we landed on something like passable enough to just kind of move past
It was one of my
Yeah.
okay moments. It was one of my-
But like
Alright.
that it taught me one valuable thing, and is that if there's one thing I need to fucking practice, it's
Crying.
because
Get
that
some
I
onions.
get you,
that,
Lil.
that
Manipulator
shit was
is going
rough.
on.
That was by far and away the hardest thing in any recording I think we've ever done.
Yeah.
It took so long.
Edgelord Dragon reveal.
Edgelord Dragon. I don't cry.
You're so manly.
Couldn't be me.
You're so manly. All right, Allimiece, how about you?
Sorry if my camera glitches a little bit. I'm gonna hold this up and hope that helps.
Oh,
dissipate.
no.
The dying MacBook.
Oh
Yes.
no.
She's been on for an hour, so life is tough.
For a MacBook, that is tough.
That is.
For a MacBook that's 2017, yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
So
I had
she's
one of
doing
those. I get it.
But I literally also in my notes, crying. I find it really difficult to do like convincing crying noises when it's like just me in front of a microphone and I don't have like a physical scene partner to build stuff up with. So just anytime I had to cry. They turned out fine, but I would like to work more on like the crying scenes.
We'll
so.
have to just have a day where anybody who wants to learn how to cry comes, and I'll try to teach you how
Get
to
in a
cry.
call and cry with
Yeah.
us.
Crying workshop.
No,
Just
to be fair, I did want to comment on your crying though, because that scene
was
in the
very
junkyard when
effective.
Rena does that like crying scream into the night, like
You did
again,
really good with
it
that.
was one of those that I had to hear it in the video because we definitely didn't have it pick up on Discord. But no, it was really heart-wrenching. Like I thought you did a really good job.
Thank you. One can always improve though.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, easily, yeah.
All right, Bo, what about you?
I cry all the fucking time, so that was actually one of the easier parts. I am a big bitch baby.
Yo, same!
No matter what
Yeah,
emotions I have, they are
Satoko.
hardwired to my eyeballs. Like I'm
Yep.
mad, I cry. I'm
Yep.
happy, I cry.
Cry.
I'm
Sad,
sad, I'm
cry.
sad.
Cry.
Embarrassed?
I
cry.
get tickled. I cry.
Yep.
For me, I think I can't really think of a particular scene that was the hardest. More so is just like doing the like mischievous in like kind of that voice was harder for me. Like getting her giggles in general was pretty difficult.
Really?
So, like-
It just came out of you. I just figured you had it down. I was like, yeah, they've got
I
it.
was focusing so hard for any of them, honestly. It's like, I don't know why that's so particularly difficult. It's such a hyper specific thing, but I think that's.
I couldn't tell. I could not tell.
And honestly, just remembering her voice each time because, like, our recording sessions were so spaced out because these are long ass analysis videos. No shade for you taking a while with them, but it's just like, I'm always like pretty awooified whenever we record shit together, but she's got like a very specific
She
like
does.
bite to hers that I have to remember every time. So if my voice acting sounded inconsistent at all, that's why.
I think we got it pretty spot on each time, but fair enough.
I did always
thank
love popping into a recording sesh with Bo and having the first thing out of Bo's mouth be,
I forgot
"So
the
what was her
voice."
voice again?"
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I always have to like every time we got into call, I was like giving myself that little pep talk and trying to remember what the fuck I sounded like.
Oh wait, didn't you also do the what was it? The shoot, what was the other character?
Rena?
The I'm trying to remember. Was it who did the was it you that did the voice of the one that sounded like a pack of cigs?
Yeah, that was
No,
Rena. That was Bo. Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
Oh, and
That
you're talking about
was- I like
Oreo.
doing
Are you
that.
talking about Oreo? The grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Allimiece.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Allimiece busted out the old bag.
She busted
voice
the
for
old
that
bag.
one.
Uh-huh.
I can't separate old person voice from New York. I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't
God,
worry.
we're so
The
good.
natural
But-
New York old lady will be back soon. Your torture
See, I-
continues.
I grew up in Connecticut, so pulling up like the Joyzy pack of cigs is like
So
my
fun.
usual humor voice. So that was. But
Fair enough.
that's not really a scene. Like I could have
That's
said the emotional scenes for Satoko, but that I'm used to like seeing crying.
Fair enough. All right, Bunny, how about you?
All right, so I actually kind of wrote that Rika throughout this whole thing is kind of detached emotionally, like because she's been through a 100-year-old witch. I no longer have emotions, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So emotionally, it was pretty fine for me because I feel like I tend to do that sometimes as well, just be a little bit detached from the trauma. But I did write down some specific things. I said the ultimate challenge for me is just to make it so that my takes are as authentic as possible, and that's always going to be something I'm like, that didn't sound legit. Um,
I feel
but
that.
okay, I said I do still remember there's a bit where I'm crying Akasaka in chapter 8, where my recording cut out when we were recording it.
Oh yeah.
And
it
the
did.
first
Yeah.
take, I was like, that was great. Oh, yes, perfect. But it didn't record the latter
Yeah.
half of it. So then I had to redo it, but like nothing's gonna compare to that take in my
Yeah.
mind where I'm like, that was the one. So I felt that the one that ended up in the video was a little bit less like authentic than I would have liked. And then also I recall being asked to do a second take in chapter 7 where I'm yelling at Irie and Takano, the burn to death in the mountains, you know, this world is a dead end thing, because I kept it up the whole time, angry the whole time. And then for the one that actually got in, I had to get into the despair and like kind of fizzle out with that. And then I also wrote pronunciations.
Yeah.
Mainly just
I
because
don't pronounce
I
some
pronounce
things correctly. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Everyone's
I had to
struggling to
change,
pronounce
but
Namizawa.
actually, in one of the videos, the take that got in, one of them I do say Satoko.
It was because I
that
missed
did
it when
slip
you said
through.
it, and I was like, it's
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
Ah.
So for everybody
Yeah.
out there, I try very hard for the most part to pronounce things correctly, but sometimes there are a couple of names or things that just don't sound natural when you're putting it in the middle of an English sentence. So specifically the two names that I do not pronounce correctly in the videos are Satoko and Satoshi. They should be
Those
Satoko
were hard.
and Satoshi.
Satoshi.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when you're talking to sentence and you're saying blah 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 and Satoko does this, it just doesn't sound right. Versus like and Satoko does this. So I ended up going with Satoko and Satoshi instead, even though the pronunciation is not quite correct.
I still
But-
struggled with those
Whitewash
pronunciations.
Yeah.
Because
Better,
one
unfortunately.
thing a voiceover teacher told me is if you are unsure of the pronunciation, don't say it out loud until you have confirmed it, because it'll be remembered in
Stick.
your brain. You'll struggle.
Oh.
I've talked about Higurashi so much,
Yeah,
and
that
I
it's
say
too late.
Satoko, Satoshi, Hinamizawa is how I would say it, but it's
I looked that one
Hinamizawa.
up. That one is Hinamizawa. I did look that one up.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
say it weird.
Mhm.
So that was a thing I had to retrain
Hinamizawa.
myself to not pronounce it
At least
the way
it's
I did.
at least it's
normally.
not Jax. Every single time I'd get in a call with him for recording, I had to stop him 5 separate times minimum from saying Hinamizawa.
Oh,
Dude, yeah, Bunny, you can't
Hinamizawa.
possibly get worse than me and Jax because we had a 10-minute outtakes video about how we couldn't
Oh,
pronounce shit
no.
correctly.
Yeah, it's
That is
on the channel. It's on the channel. It's 10 minutes long.
The psychology thing you brought
Beautiful.
up makes so much sense because there's so many times I would do it as a bit, say Chan and like Kun, like very
Oh, yeah.
American,
Right,
that
right.
like
And now it's stuck in your
defaults
head.
to the
Yeah.
bad version, even though I know how to say it correctly.
He'd be like, oh, Keiichi-chan, and
I'd
Hedge
be
would
like,
have to be like, no,
Gotta go,
No.
Chad. Gotta go, Chad.
Oh my god!
Chan,
It's
Chan, not Chan,
2008
Chan.
Anime Club.
That's what it was.
God, probably.
All right, and Kat, what was your hardest scene?
So there's, I guess, a few aspects of what could make a scene hard. So for me, like what I talked about before was like Hangyu having to watch all of her newfound friends die was a pretty hard scene. I think I actually did like really cry when we
heard
did
it.
that recording. Like
It
I
lent
like
to the scene though. It really
yeah,
did.
it did. I actually like it was like tough because I was like I am sorry, I can't stop crying right now.
I was like, it's fine. It will sound authentic. It will sound great.
It'll
Use
be
it,
great.
use it,
Use it,
Yeah,
use
use
it.
it.
Let's get this
and
taken
then,
before you stop.
the other thing for me is Hedge was kind enough to give me all of the lines before the recordings. I have dyslexia. And so, like, for me, trying to, like, read everything as it's popping up while we're doing the talking, like, it's hard, because I'm trying to read what it says, and then I'm trying to say it at the same time. Yeah,
That's
and
also
so
true,
it was
yeah.
nice getting the lines beforehand, because then I could, like, practice them. So
Yeah, I've been
so
trying
so
to
sometimes, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I've been trying to get better at that
Yeah.
because for several years, a lot of my voice actors, you know, because they're all just my silly friends who just come in on a weekend to do some lines for me. Most of them are just like, I'll just come in and I'll just do it and it'll be fine and whatever, and you'll direct me when I'm there. And I'm like, yep, I will. But I've had to readjust back to sending people lines beforehand because most of these club members are like, hey, can I get the lines before? I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot people might need those.
Yeah, so it's been nice getting them because, like, otherwise trying to read them, like, right at the recording can be tough, especially, like, with what we already talked about with, like, pronunciation and stuff. So, like, getting to confirm the pronunciation beforehand, but then also getting an idea of, like, the emotion in the scene, too. Because it's harder to do all that stuff, like, right then and there when you have dyslexia, because you're trying to just read. Like, that's the like, the hard part of it is
getting
it's like
through the lines.
it's just getting through the line. That's the hard part. It's like I can do emotion and all that stuff, but it's like when you're reading the line for the first time, that's where it's like ketchup. Not like ketchup as in like what you put on sandwiches, but ketchup as in like what you put on nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, in the future, I think I'm going to put together pronunciation guides for each project for all the voice actors if they want to look at them before we start recording. I think that will be helpful.
Idea,
I think they'll be very helpful.
Like, I don't normally look at the document beforehand, which is crazy because I, not as much so, but I'm also minorly dyslexic. But I definitely would look at that because I am terrible at pronouncing.
Again, there's a whole 10-minute video of Jackson Dragon mispronouncing words repeatedly.
Meow.
Meow. All right, but moving on, it's time for Bo's question. Bo's question is more of just a prompt to hear a story. I apologize, Bo, but it's a very funny story. You have a very interesting nickname on the server, on the voice acting server. You want to tell us about that?
God, okay. So, I feel like, firstly, so everyone here knows, my name in the server is No Towel, Only Nipple. So for anyone who's here who might have actually like been invested in Higurashi before we started this or like did their own research into this, there's multiple versions of the sprites that exist for this game because this game has been around for a pretty long time and some of the old ones were busted. And you know that scene, you know that chapter 3 where Satoko's in a towel, and you know they made it look normal because I feel like most people when they're in a towel, no matter how like fucking vivacious and luscious their body and curves are,
how
like,
much
Bahangaru, you're kind of just like in a brick because of the nature of the fiber.
Yeah.
It's a very like sturdy, thick material. But someone's gooner brain took over when they drew Satoko in that towel and made it like a fucking sheet.
Oh god.
So her entire detail is protruding through during that. Like, I'm not gonna tell y'all to look it up. I'm sure you can conjure it in your mind, but it's in the internet. But yeah,
Bo and Dragon and I were on the call, and I decided, hey guys, you want to see the original sprites? They're awful.
Yeah,
they're real bad. Just straight up cooner bait. It's real bad. So I've been No Towel Only Nipple ever since. And how long has it been?
It's been like 2 years since that now. It's been almost 2 years.
To change it. So I've been No Towel Only Nipple.
Never
for
change.
The time. And yeah, apparently I guess I'm not allowed to change it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
forever.
Also, don't need to know anything about me. Just know about this bit.
Yep. Also, those are an exception. But if you talk about any of the other original sprites in a negative way, Bunny will come for your ass. She loves those original sprites.
Fighting words.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm like the king of like enjoying things while acknowledge, like, I can like a thing and acknowledge it's objectively bad, but if anyone else
Yeah.
shits on it, that
You're like,
that's me
no.
with Naruto. I love Naruto so dearly. It was one of the first anime I've ever watched. That shit is rank though.
Yeah.
But I
rank.
think, Bunny, I think you and I can come to agreement that the towel nipple was just a mistake. I feel like we can.
Well, yeah. I'm kind of blanking on what the towel sprite, the OG
Oh,
one, looked like,
For
but
you,
I
I'll get
do
it for
know
you.
that there was
Oh, we'll show
a
it to you. I can't move my camera.
controversy because the original sprite actually had her naked.
It did.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
Oh,
part.
whoa.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
why the
but the
towel shows
thing
nipple?
is,
Because they just
well,
covered it like art.
Yeah.
Wise?
So
Oh,
think
okay,
about
that
it.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
So here's what
Yeah.
happened. Think about you know when you watch My Neighbor Totoro and there's that scene where like they're in the bath and with the dad and like the kids, they're just in the bath. And as a Westerner, I'm like, that's a little weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently that's normal.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
their
no,
kids,
nudity
they're
and
in the
like
bath.
families, like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff is a lot more normalized. And I wish in some
Yeah.
senses it was, because people got to stop being freaks about weird shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Mhm.
I think
unfortunately, it's not at that point.
the original sprite it did not look sexual. It looked like a child. It's divisive because it was a child, but I think
Yeah.
it got across how
No,
disturbing
they
that scene
gave
was.
her
That's
Yeah.
fair.
they gave her quite a bit of chest for a child.
They did,
in
yeah.
some cases.
Oh
At
yeah,
least with the
that's
towel.
great.
Children can't.
With
At
the
least
towel.
when they put the
I
towel
I think
on.
he just
but-
like covered it with the and he's like, okay, let me like do a pleat and a pleat and a pleat and a. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the recording chat for you to witness,
you go,
but
yeah, you can just-
it's
Can
a
I-
little.
Oh wait, you put it in there?
Yeah, but
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
While you're
Alright,
looking
you
at that,
got
can I
both of
throw
them?
in a one line
Oh yeah,
about the name?
yeah.
Mhm.
Because Bo, you actually originally made it no nipple, only towel. And I, the next day, decided it would be funny to just swap them.
no one
And
ever
it went
did.
unnoticed for a
Towel
while
only.
until eventually people were like, hey, what does this mean? Why is it no towel, only nipple?
Oh, that's funny.
Right.
And I just thought that was really fun. I just was like, the fact that I think the funniest part was the fact that it went like unnoticed for so long. Like even your original went unnoticed for like 24 hours before people were like, hey,
I
what
mean,
the fuck
as
is
we clearly
going on here?"
discussed earlier, there's some dyslexic ass bitches in this chat.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you expected.
But it was really funny. That name is so iconic in this server now that every time you pop up when we're doing like just a casual call or something, and I just see in
Yeah.
all caps,
No
no
towel,
towel,
only
only
nipple."
Only
nipple.
nipple. It's so funny.
All right. Question 8. Though it's
I
first half.
found the original one. I'm not sharing it.
Yeah. Probably. I can't look at it right now, but
Oh,
for the
I'm not
best.
sharing it. Yeah. But yeah. Wait, real quick. I think it's a good thing that he didn't realize that children don't have breasts because that means he hasn't looked at a child's.
you know what? That's
You
true.
know what? That's
You know
fair.
what?
That is
That's
point.
true. Fair
Very
point.
fair.
That's a very glass half full interpretation. I would take it.
I'll probably
Yeah,
just drink
but
that too.
All right. It was 2002. It was 2002 in Japan. Okay. So, though it's first half is more of a horror story, Higurashi is ultimately a mystery. What is your favorite piece of mystery media? So I wasn't planning on answering the questions to everyone, so I actually didn't think about it.
It's okay, I didn't think about it either.
I just off the
didn't
top of
either.
my head, I really like the Knives Out movies.
Yeah.
I just really like no Craig.
LeBlanc?
No, I'm the actor.
Oh, the actor.
Daniel
Oh,
Craig,
yeah.
yeah,
I
think
just
so.
I just love Daniel
I
Craig.
remember that dropped episode where Julia painted it. I
Yeah,
think it's
finally
Daniel Craig.
breaking 3 of James Bond hell and just getting to be the silly little Southern man he always wanted to be. I love that for him, and he
Aw.
just has so much fun in those movies. I like watching. Dragon.
Okay, since everyone will probably have genuine answers, I was gonna try to come up with a genuine answer, but I have to say my meme answer. Yeah, it's the FNAF franchise.
God damn it, Dragon.
You can shame me. It's time to shame Dragon.
Shame, shame,
look
shame,
at me.
shame,
Oh,
shame,
you want
shame.
to
Shame.
shame you. You want to talk about
Shame.
your FNAF
FNAF.
cosplay you did in anime.
No, I really
class?
don't. I don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I'm perceiving
No,
you. I'm
but-
perceiving you so much.
I think
Perceived.
it's if you know me.
Hey, you're welcome.
Oh, the
Adra
chat's
is shaming
saying
me.
shame.
Adra, you are the last person.
10,000 years of shame.
But if you know me, you know how influential that franchise was back in like 2014 when the original, not as much the new stuff, we don't have to talk about that, but like the original stuff, it really like taught me a lot about telling a story without telling a story, for good and for bad. But like I I think some of my favorite memories of that time period of my life, um, for what I remember of it, is me and my cousin and my brother sitting down and trying to kind of piece together what was going on and trying to essentially figure out a story through these little background elements and stuff like that. And it I was already a critical thinker, but that really honed my like critical thinking and analysis, and that it really like sharpened that part of my brain, and I take that to every media that I consume now. I bring that mind space into it, and so that has to be my answer just because it was so impactful on how I consume mysteries and stuff. Though a runner-up has to obviously be fucking Danganronpa.
I know.
Love that shit.
I forgot to mention Danganronpa.
Love that
I
shit.
forgot to mention Danganronpa.
It's the same thing where they do so much with so little, and having to really try to wrap your head around all the tiny details that are super important, but they just look like background elements and stuff like that. So I think those two are my, for sure.
Awesome. Allimiece, what about you?
Well, my top choice was also Knives Out.
Sorry! Listen,
No,
pretend
don't
I
worry,
said
have two other
Danganronpa.
choices.
Pretend I said
No,
Danganronpa.
I have two more. But yeah, Knives Out, which is just a testament to its quality that two people have it as their top choice. I also really like the book. Where is it? Maybe it's not on screen. The book The Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. I find it really charming. It's a book within a book. And the book within the book is like charming, like English countryside murder mystery, which is like my bread and butter of mystery. And then also, as a teenager, there was a TV series called Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's like a 1920s mystery thing with a female protagonist, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, how about you?
So I honestly didn't think about this question. I was like, when you first sent the questions, I was like, oh, I'm really gonna have to think about that because I don't consume a lot of mystery, and then immediately forgot. Us having this conversation actually reminded me that one of the most like, I guess like in a way influential books I read as a kid, besides the cursed Harry Potter series written by Hatsune Miku and nobody else, was probably a series of unfortunate.
Yo! I finally got Dragon to start reading those with me! Yo!
I fucking loved those books. I accidentally started reading them with the 8th book, Hostel Hospital, because it was like in my teacher's, just like, she just had them scattered throughout like her collection of books for us to read. But I love that series so much. I loved like the humor of it, the set, like the kind of like eclectic setting where you can't really tell what time period it's in. And like so many things that the author like did go out of his way to explain at some point, and so many things are still left unanswered, and it was such a good book series. I love it so much. And yeah, so I actually came up with a good answer. Fun fact, my chosen name, Bowie, partially came from a series of unfortunate events.
What book was that?
Because it was, again, the hospital. So I'll give like a very abridged version of the story, but essentially, for y'all who don't know, bitches be non-binary. And I already, as I think the only ones here who would know my birth name, maybe Allimiece, but I know Dragon definitely did, and Belle did at some point. I don't know if you forgot.
Oh, I remember.
But it was a whack-ass name in general.
That's why I remember.
And very so I was going through gender neutral baby names lists with my friend on Discord at like 2 a.m. And at first I saw Bo, which, as you guys have heard, is what people refer to me a lot anyway. But I was sitting there like, I love Inside. I love Bo Burnham. Like, Dragon and I bonded over our love of Bo Burnham and piano class and tormenting our music teacher.
Our
but
poor
I
music
can't
teacher.
have people. I miss her. She was so sweet. But I can't have people thinking I named myself after a white man. So I go further down the list and I see Bowie. And I'm like, oh, this reminds me of when Klaus was rambling on about the history of the Bowie knife so he doesn't have to cut off Violet's head in the surgery scene. And it made me think of a beloved book series. It's a funky name. It has the first initial and the last 2 letters of my birth name, mystically enough. And it's just fun. It's quirky, and I liked it a lot. And so that's how I ended up as Bowie, which shortens to Bo anyway. So my stressing was dumb. But
Fair enough. All right. Bunny, how about you?
All right, me being honest, I forgot to answer this question, but I've been thinking about it in these past few minutes, and I'm really blanking because I don't think I think I mix up mystery with like this has a twist that then it changes your whole perception of the
Yeah,
original
like
bit.
kind of thriller energy.
Yeah, like thriller type, like what's it called? Oh, Perfect Blue, the movie,
Oh,
the
yeah.
animated, yeah, or
Counts as a
like
mystery just
that
because I
kind of
looked up
deal.
popular mystery anime and Perfect Blue was one of the first options.
It did?
So, yeah.
Okay. So I got
It-
Perfect Blue and also I finished watching, or I didn't finish, but I got to the final twist. There's like an older show that I was like 8 when it came out, so now I'm watching it. The Mentalist.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's a
Okay,
live
yeah.
action. Yeah. It's pretty cool, entertaining, and I guess it is a mystery because he's hunting this killer that killed his family. But doesn't know who it is. Oh, but yeah, I'm so blanking. But there's probably a lot more that I'm forgetting about.
It's okay. I thought of like 5 in the course of.
It's a
No, I was gonna say I
mystery.
think Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue's a great
I'd
choice, though.
throw that. I've never actually like seen
Yeah.
it.
We need
fully,
to
but,
sit
like,
down
I'd
and
throw
watch
that
it. We
in
I
keep
love
forgetting.
it.
mystery,
I
yeah.
love it. It's so good.
I've heard so
Also,
many.
can I add one more? Because I remembered.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it. I actually did think of one beforehand. It's very comedy, but it still has a lot of mystery elements. And it's topical. Ace Attorney.
You know what? That's true. That's true.
I grew up playing the Ace Attorney games. I had a lot of them for DS and stuff like that. And that was another one that really made me have to like think about things, and it attached me to like crime solving and that kind of thing, which obviously is part of the reason why I love Danganronpa so much. But it's topical because this is the next video, everyone. You should
Yeah,
know that.
all the recording, all the writing is done. I'm in the process of recording the footage, and I'll be contacting all the voice actors about it soon. Hopefully, that should be recorded by the end of the month, and then editing will be following shortly. Out by the end of February, I hope. Oh, cross my fingers.
Also, Madam is yelling, "Watch Perfect
Yes.
Blue" in chat.
You would, Madam, you would.
And
Watch
when you
Perfect
said
Blue.
Adra just joined, Adra responded, "I've been here the whole time."
Of course. Of
The
course.
whole
Yes,
time.
All right, and finally, Kat, what is your favorite mystery?
Me. I had to have a long conversation with Kirby of what defined a mystery. Because I was like, how do I answer this one? So like when I searched up like mystery anime, Kakaguri was on that list.
Okay.
And I really like that one, and especially since me and Hedgehog talked about cosplaying the main girl. What's her name again?
Oh, Dragon, what's the main girl's name?
Yumiko?
Yumiko, yeah.
Yumiko.
My
I would
Yes.
cosplay. Yeah, I would
My
cosplay.
beloved.
Yeah, I would cosplay Yumiko, and Belle would get to cosplay Mary, because like we both agreed like those would be our characters.
Yeah, sorry, Dragon, I'm not Yumiko.
and then I
apologize.
told
Honestly, I'm just surprised
Kirby
you're not
has to
cosplaying
dress up as
what's-her-name.
the what's the main guy?
Oh, I forget his name, the main guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
but Kirby
I
would
should
have
know
to
this.
dress up as him.
Yeah,
So,
and then
I
we-
do Runa, the neutrality girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But in general, as far as like mystery stuff, like I used to like back in the day before like there was Netflix and streaming
Before
services,
Back
I would
before the
binge
Netflix.
watch Bones,
Oh,
and I'd binge
Bones.
watch like Law and Order like all the time. Like I'd binge watch those all the time. And then like for books, I would read like the Nancy Drew books as a kid. And then for like newer stuff that I watch now, I really like watching like Netflix has like a whole section of like reality TV shows that are like somewhat like puzzle solving ones. So like my favorite one that me and Kirby watched was I believe it was a Korean based one, Devil's Plan.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. And there's other ones too. So there's like the influencer was, I don't know if that would count as mystery, but like I guess it was kind of mystery because they didn't know what was happening each round, and then they had to problem solve like during the round on how to like win the round. And so like there's like this whole genre now of like more shows that are I think coming out like that, where it's like contestants being thrown in not knowing what the full show is about, and then having to like problem solve like on the spot, which is I think pretty cool to see, like especially like with the Devil's Plan, like the different variety of people that they had as the cast, because they weren't just like all from the same like career paths. Like they took people from all different types of like careers and then threw them into a room, and then you had to see how each of those people problem solved the same like problem. And so it was kind of cool that you get to see like everyone trying to like figure out how to do a thing. And sometimes it's like they're all competing against each other, and other times it's they have to work in groups or all together, and it's like really interesting to see that type of like thinking going on.
If you like Korean reality shows, everyone should watch Agents of Mystery.
I haven't watched that one
Yeah.
yet.
Can
So
I
I'm just
ask
Next
hijacking-
watch.
Yes.
I'm
Watch
hijacking your
Zombieverse.
answer to say if I didn't think
Oh, I
of,
do wanna watch
series
Zombieverse.
of unfortunate events, I was going to say I am a propaganda whore. I love Law and Order, SVU, and Castle specifically.
It's
Oh,
so
yes.
good.
That's going to be my answer.
Yeah. What was it you wanted to add, Bunny?
Two small little things. One, I don't know if it's. I think it counts as a mystery. It's a Thai drama, Girl from Nowhere. It's really good.
Never seen it, so I can tell you,
each
but I'm sure it does.
different. And also, there was a reality show that existed that I don't know where it is anymore. It had one season. It was called Who Done It.
I remember that show.
I love
And
that
and
show.
every week they would have the contestants die. So like I guess they'd tell them, "Hey, you're gonna die because you
It was
lost.
the
Sorry.
person who
Now
got
let's
the
film
least
your
clues
death."
right.
Mhm.
It was
And
the person who
people
got the least
thought-
clues.
Yeah, and people thought, like, I don't know why people thought this. They had to add in an interview with the person that died at the end, like, wow, it was really cool to die this way. It's a shame I lost. Because people are like, are they actually killing people in this show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
And
confusion
one-
is why it
yeah.
didn't get a second season, if I remember correctly.
But it was really, but it was so.
It was such a good show.
And then one person
I
was an
loved it.
actor the whole time,
Mhm.
apparently.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
shoot.
The show
Does
was so
Squid Games
good.
count as a
Good cut.
mystery?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Does it-
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was also one that I watched. They
Fair
have
enough.
season 2 now.
Also, I
Uh,
just want to say, even though we brought up multiple anime, shout out to none of us bringing up Death Note as a mystery.
So true.
Is it a mystery?
it technically
I think
is,
it
yeah.
is. It's a reverse mystery because you know the
Reverse.
answer, but it is
Yeah.
a mystery still.
I thought it was
Because
like
L's
a
still
crime
solving
drama.
stuff.
It is also a crime drama.
Perspective changed mystery.
Yes.
And X-Files. We didn't bring up
We
X-Files.
didn't bring up
either.
X-Files. We should have brought up X-Files. I love
X-File. I
X-Files.
don't like that intro. That sound like makes me want to cry. No.
All right. Then we'll move on. Question number 9. This is for Bunny. So as we've
Oh,
said,
sweet.
you're the resident Higurashi fan here. Technically, I am too.
Oh,
but you're
wow.
much more of a Higurashi fan than I am. I just know the main story. So what do you think is the best version of the series? Because it is a visual novel, it is an anime, it is a manga. Oh dear lord.
Oh no.
And there's also a bunch of side content for it. So
I
which would you-
died.
You died. There's also a bunch of side content for it. So which would you
I
say is the
died.
best?
A bunch of side content. Okay, I did write something down. Also, I got my box
Amazing.
of all the
Higurashi
manga.
I was gonna say, I
All right,
love
so
all
the
of
side
the Higurashi
stories.
merch in the background that you can just see.
Oh yeah, my beloved,
Ryan.
my
Aw.
beloved,
Your
beloved,
beloved.
Hanyu. The best version of the series. I often say when I'm pitching Higurashi to people, I mean now we have these videos. They're a little bit shorter, I guess, right?
There are like 20 hours
but-
versus 100.
Yeah. I'd say the VN is a really big commitment, and like not a lot of people are willing to do that. So I used to pitch it this way. I'd say the anime, not the best. If you can get over the, the animation style and the the switching style and the lack of a dub for the other one. Anyways, that's the quickest way to consume the story. Watch seasons 1 and 2. You have to watch them both, and then you'll be like, oh. And then if you feel that you actually like that general premise, and you realize that they're all arcs, then you can commit to either reading the VN, or the best way also to consume it would be the manga. When I would pitch this, the manga was not in print, and all of the books were going for like $50 to $500 each. Ridiculous. But now they're back in print, so all I'm saying is you can get them for the regular price now. You don't have to go to the price gougers or the resellers. You can buy the manga, support that, or read it online, whatever you wish. So the manga is a really good adaptation. Each arc is done by a different artist, and then it repeats. I love that Rena's arc and also the final arc are done by the same artist. So I'm like, so basically, I love the VM, and also I like it with the OG sprites. Even though the art is not really good, I feel it's the most authentic way to see it. Because Ryuugu, not an artist, but it's his work, so I was like, okay, yeah, and you know, you can kind of vibe with it. You're like, you know what, yeah,
Frozen
yeah,
Mayor,
I
definitely
love
Frozen
that
Mayor.
owl nipple.
it hits. I feel their emotions look a lot more raw because the style is not like very streamlined, and also I find it's a little less fan servicey seeming, in
Especially
terms of the
compared to
art
the
style.
Steam version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, but yeah,
I was
so
gonna say I
the
had to look
VN.
up sprites for the some of the editing, and they would just list all of the sprites for all the versions.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, yeah, the Steam ones were I don't even want to go into that.
Manga
But
gamer.
but I will say that looking at a lot of the expressions and a lot of the actual like posing and stuff that the old ones had did endear me to them a little bit. Where like when Hedge first showed me them, I was like, oh, marshmallow hands. These are odd. Like, why did they do it this way? And then learning that like, oh, Ryuugu did it. Oh, this is all the different like expressions and stuff. I was like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I can see
With it.
why people hold these so near and dear to their heart. I think obviously my favorite are the ones that we used, but like it gave me an appreciation for them having to scroll through them to get to the ones that we used, and I'm like, I got to look at
Yeah.
them a lot more, and so I get
Yeah,
that.
they're very charming in their own way, and I like it. And also when I finally read the VN, I had already watched the anime. I put it down for a bit because I was like, "What the heck is happening? They're all dead, and now they're alive again." I didn't get it. Took a year or two, and then I got into it. Um, but the VN, if you find that you love the characters after consuming the quickest form of the media, the VN has so much more bonus content with them just having a good time together, and also more content with details that are not included in the truncated versions. Also, the best side story, hmm, hmm. Well, the best additional arc in my mind, and in the anime, it's precursor. It's Ray is the third season, but people get turned off by it because they're like, why is there a weird fan servicey swimsuit thing? Because they didn't do the Saikoro Shihen, the dice killing chapter. They didn't put that first,
I've heard of that.
but that one's in there, so you can skip that arc and look at that arc because I find it is supplemental. It kind of ties together some questions you might have about like, okay, how's Rika gonna be a normal kid now after she's been through all this?
Very fair question.
So that one's nice. And then in terms of side stories, rather than actually like a continuation, there's two. Oh, what did I say? If I had to pick one, I'd implode. But ignoring the ones that have not had an official English release, there is and no different cast of characters, spin off, none of that. There's the dream appearing chapter or Yume Tsushi Hen. That's at the end of Kira. Kira is mostly fan service. This is also kind of a little bit, but it's really relaxing. It gives off Ghibli vibes. It's just a really comforting way to see the characters interacting and also just them thinking and reminiscing because it has like Rika from the past somehow ends up in the future after they went through all this and then they question, well, should we send her back though, because then she'll have to go through all this and we don't want her to, and it's like, you know, so that one's nice. And then there's also apparently one that's Kokoriashihen or the heart healing chapter, but it's not translated officially into English, but that's a manga only chapter where kind of similar thing, ties things up, heart healing, that
Nice.
kind of thing. But yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Love it.
All right, thanks.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you for being the
Thank
resident.
you for being the resident expert.
Expanded Higurashi.
Yes. All right, so question 10 for everybody here. If you could play any other character in Higurashi, regardless of voice or gender, who would it be? So I'll start because this is a funny story because I almost ended up playing this character. So for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty well known for my love of Shota boys and my ability to voice them. I'm pretty good at doing a prepubescent masculine voice. I've been practicing for many years. I don't know why I've decided to do this. I just did. It's Edward Elric's
If you want to
fault.
hear some of it, you should read Edie
You should read
Valley.
Edie
That's
Valley.
right. I'm doing it
Read
again.
Edie
I'm doing
Valley.
it again.
Share the link.
I'm pretty sure it's Edward Elric's fault. That's what we're going with. So when I first started the series, figured, oh, I'll probably end up voicing Satoshi, and then I realized I'm voicing Shion. And they talk together a lot, and that would mean Chapter 5 is even more me than it already was, and that's not good. And plus, Noah could probably voiced him better than I could, if I'm honest.
Shout out to Noah.
Shout out to Noah.
No.
But if circumstances were different, I would have liked to voice Satoshi. That would have been fun.
See, I'm really torn because I have to just preface this with this would have been like if I could choose before having heard who actually like voiced them. Because I'd probably choose Oishi. That's such a Dragon coded
It is.
character, an old fogey like cop guy. Like if you know me, you know I love my weird eclectic old men. It's like a specific subcast of Dragon faves.
It's true.
Um,
And yet he's stuck voicing Pretty Boys
and
because
yet I'm stuck
directing.
voicing goddamn Pretty Boys. But no, I love Oishi as a character. I love the way he fits into the world. I love his character arc. I love a lot of that stuff. So I would pick Oishi. However, I could not remotely compare to the Oishi that we got because Jax completely knocked it out of the park. So I'm gonna say Mion because I love her.
That's true.
But it would be Oishi for sure.
All right, Allimiece.
I would definitely choose Keiichi. I feel like all of his
Yeah.
rants in the club scenes would be so fun to do. That's the main motivator, just to be able to do the club scene rants. Or Mion, just because I feel like her bravado would be fun to play with. But yeah.
I'm voicing me. I give myself the best character. All right, Bo.
Lin-Manuel Miranda over here. But funnily enough, my answer is almost exactly the same as Allimiece. I feel like doing Keiichi is very like just that like very shonen protagonist bravado kind of thing. Like
The
fucking
dumbassery.
yeah, dumbassery,
Yeah.
like unearned male confidence type of shit is very fun. And also I just like you don't see like I am also not complaining at all, but I am very much typecast as either Uwu Baby or Uwu Baby, but with like gremlin twist of some sort.
Yeah.
Gremlin
It's
baby.
your voice. I'm
Which
sorry.
I'm totally fine with. They're very fun, but I feel like I don't know, it'd be interesting to do a more like mature sounding character. Besides, mature in the sense of one was like sex worker
I was gonna
robot.
say, yeah.
But,
I'll keep that in mind.
Keiichi being mature is a stretch, but yeah, I get you.
no, I'm talking about specifically Mion and she
Yeah.
that context.
Yeah.
Spacing out. That one was just like for funsies. I think that would be very funny. But yeah, I feel like most people expect me to be like, oh, like maybe like Rena or Hanyu, but it's like no, sometimes I'm tired of being a baby. I want to go feral.
Don't worry, Bo.
Or-
After Steins Gate, I have a role in mind for you that I think you'll adore, if that's the case.
Oh, and I'm not complaining at all. I
Oh
think
yeah,
they're all
no,
very-
well aware, but don't worry.
It's fun to get a good range.
Don't worry.
'Cause,
I'll have a fun
when
role.
like yeah, like for example, like when as if it ever ended, but when Dragon and I like were super into Homestuck, one of my favorite things to do was
Yup.
like the Terezi voice.
Oh god.
And I love those kind of characters where they're like very bravado, very like actually smart, but also like very
as
smart
bricks.
but so stupid. Like
See, Bo,
High
your problem
intelligence,
is that
low
you
wisdom.
overlap with Hedgehog, and she's the showrunner, so she's gonna give
Yeah.
herself Terezi
Sorry.
before she gives you Terezi.
Yeah, and I know, but it's fine. If
Listen,
whenever I get
if-
you guys on my channel, I
Yeah.
can fuck around.
If we ever did something with Homestuck, which we could never do because it's so fucking long, don't worry. I'm already playing Vriska, so I couldn't play Terezi. So you can play Terezi.
True.
Is this you?
All right, Bunny, your turn. Who would you play?
I am so biased.
I know what your answer is already.
Yeah, everybody probably, because I'm literally like, she's my, like, icon on a lot of
baby
things,
girl.
or my alias on a lot of things. She's part of my username for my art account on Instagram, Rena Mirai. Rena, I would want to play Rena. I just really, really, really have identified with her for as long as I've loved Higurashi. I have bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed when I was like 12. I'm on antipsychotics. I've had experience with like the type of stuff that it deals with in the arc. So I really honestly one day would love to try and bring what I could to that role, and like the authenticity of like she's, some people mistake her as a yandere, in the original part, or they're like, oh, she's just like the cutesy. But I do that too. I go into like the really cute mode thing, but I also have issues that I deal with. But yeah, I would really want to give that character the justice that she would deserve in terms of being authentic and
Getting that
tackling
representation
those.
then for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that you, just because I do it all the time too, I love that you associate so strong with the character because of that kind of stuff, because there's other characters. I even felt that a little with Keiichi, if I'm being honest. Like, there was a lot of,
And
like, Keiichi not trusting his surroundings and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I've been there. I get that.
Yeah, I cast you for a
I
reason.
throw a
also
bit of that
the-
in there.
Or then what was it? My mom
Definitely.
cheated on my dad, and I was like, oh, Rena. No,
All right. Fair enough. All right, and Kat, finally.
Me.
Who'd you play?
I feel so silly for having the same answer as Keiichi.
You don't sound like Keiichi.
Let's go!
I just
Keiichi
want
gang.
I would just want to be a silly little guy.
Sometimes you just want to
Keiichi
be the
gang.
shonen protagonist.
Yeah. But like I feel like getting to play Hongyu was like a role that I think one suited me well, and also got to let me be like a personality type that like I've kind of always enjoyed having, because I know with being neurodivergent, it can be really tough to be yourself sometimes. And so like as a kid, I was always being told to like, be more mature, don't use like a particular like voice. And so getting to play Hongyu is like getting to be like what I vibe with truly, which is getting to be ooh and ala ala.
But also,
I knew
she
your
is
inner
very
child.
intelligent.
Yeah, and so
Hongyu's
it's
super
like I
intelligent.
can be super smart and talk like a baby. Like you don't get to decide.
I
so
can be an
yeah.
USB IIQ.
I think we
I
can
am the
all
baby.
relate super strongly with that.
Yeah.
I think
I
everyone
don't think
here.
anyone in this call is neurotypical.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us are neurotypical.
Well, I meant as well with the
Yeah.
like just being able to like be smart and
Mhm.
analytical and that kind of thing, while also being silly and goofy and dumb
Yeah,
and I think that's something that everyone obviously wants just in general, but I think specifically in this call here, I think we're all so much like that. From what I know of all of us in our day to day, where we can just kind of do that and feel like it's not getting in the way of how
yeah.
we feel we are like intellectually or anything.
Yeah,
like that,
and I
you know?
can say like one thing I enjoy about getting to work with Hedgehog, at work is like we get to be like that at work
We're
with each
stupid
other.
idiots at
It's
work
so
all the
dumb. Like
time.
I go, oh my gosh, is that a Hatsune Miku? And then
That is a Hatsune
she's like Hatsune Miku.
My
And then we're
amazing
both
Hatsune Miku.
like, yeah, and we just go back and forth.
Yeah,
As
we're kind of those two
like,
chuckle fucks of the
coworkers.
counter.
Because like I work for reference,
It's
I
so
work in a
fun.
pharmacy, so it's a lot of serious stuff, making sure everyone's got the right medications, knowing what a lot of stuff does. Like But also me and my other coworker Maggie are just like unhinged. Like she's an Astarian simp, like super into Marine. Like we are both constantly
Allimiece perked up
thirsting
on that
for
one.
John Kennedy.
Starian.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, I remembered something.
What did you remember?
what was it?
There's this. I drew a picture once. I feel that Rena is this quote. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in. I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's me.
That's awesome.
Weird.
Never seen me with
You ever
that.
seen without the stupid hat?
All right.
You ever seen me without the stupid ooh voice on?
Not the Riverdale quote of this
All
movie.
right.
When you said you worked in a pharmacy, I was like, are you going to tell us that you were like, oh, here's your pills, sir?
BB?
Do you need the pharmacist to explain them how to take them?
Here's your Sudemo pill, sir. Sudemo pill is Viagra.
Honestly, I kind of wish that most like retail jobs you had to do like in an ooh voice.
Oh
I
my
think that would really
God.
change the
It
dynamic.
would make
Good
it
one.
so much more
God.
fun.
Like, can you imagine? You're
How
like,
could you be
walk up
angry
to,
at
like,
someone
the,
like that?
The like checking counter at a store, and they go, "Did you find everything okay today, sir?" Ooh, ooh."
All
Look
right.
at Hot Topic, and that's as close as you can
There
get
you
to
go.
that.
Not true.
Yeah,
We can
actually.
say that all the time at
True.
our store. Okay.
I'd be fired.
I'm going to take a really quick pee break. If anybody else wants
A
to, really
pee
fast.
break. Yes.
So I'm
I
gonna
also
move us
have
over.
to pee.
Fantastic. So I'm gonna move us over to the pee break, and we'll be back
Pee
momentarily,
break.
everybody. Hello, everybody. We're back. That was a very quick potty break.
This is Markiplier.
Quick pee break.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Okay. So we're moving on to question 11, which is specifically for Kat. This is the last individual question.
Oh,
So Keiichi has a whole rant about looking at pretty girls like they're desserts, and Hanyu also happens to love dessert. If the cast, as in the characters of Higurashi were desserts, which
Yeah.
one do you think Hanyu would love the most?
This was a tough one. So I think, like, just based off of hearing that, it would be Rena.
Rena, yeah.
Rena, yeah, because of the being like, I have desserts at home, and Hanyu would be like, what? You know, like, food, desserts. This person has desserts, then they must be like a dessert, you know.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, I feel like she would also probably think Rika would be like a dessert just because of how much time she got to spend with her. And getting to know her and care about her so much. But I also think she wouldn't understand Keiichi as well. And think
profile.
and she would understand the concept of dessert, but she wouldn't understand the concept of why a woman was a dessert.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think she would get the rant. No, she would
No,
not.
she wouldn't get it, but
was
if she
pretty
thought
bad.
about it.
Fair enough.
She'd be like, I heard like dessert and I'm in.
Uh,
I don't know
yeah,
what else you said. I
exactly.
wasn't paying attention.
Like, you said the word dessert, I don't know what kind it is, but I'm in.
Absolutely. All right. Question 12. So, of the actors not on the call right now, so everybody else who is in Higurashi, shout out one or more performance that you really jived with, so who played a great side character. So, I'm going to talk about some of the, I don't think anybody else is going to talk about. I want to talk about Gray Man for a minute. Because, so, Gray Man plays Kumagai. Oh no, I just swallowed spit. Oh god. Okay.
Don't choke.
I'm gonna take some water.
No.
Talking about
Don't
Gray Man
die.
is killing her.
No.
I won't die.
What else is going to talk about Gray Man?
This is why no one talks about Gray Man.
So originally I was gonna leave Kumagai unvoiced because he's a relatively minor character and I could skip around him pretty easily, and I didn't have another voice actor to spare for him. Because pretty much, for those of you who don't know, I think pretty much every single person I work with has a character in Higurashi. And so Rayman started editing stuff for me. And he first started with chapter 5 when he edited Shion and Satoshi's grocery shopping scene. And I realized that I'd forgotten to cut out the cashier lines, and I also realized that the cashier lines are important. So I was going to just voice them later, but Grayman literally said, hey, can I just fill that in? And I went, it's 3 lines, go for it. And he did, and he sent it back, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know you could voice that, Grayman. You want to play Kumagai? And I think you did a fantastic job coming in last minute. All right, Dragon.
I kind of spoiled it.
We
a
know.
Oh, man, Jax, like, altered my like brain. To be fair, I think it's because so much of early Higurashi was Keiichi and Oishi being buddies. And so I spent most of my recording sessions with Jax recording because we had to bounce off each other so much. But like, I can't look at that sprite and not hear his voice in my head. It is so exactly what I imagine his voice sounding like. Jax is just great at voicing that kind of character in general. His voice is just really naturally suited for it. Jax obviously is also an impeccable actor, and he brought a lot of subtlety to Oishi, which Oishi needs. So I really, really liked his performance a lot, and I thought because it was so immediately the character to me, like I felt like I was bouncing off of Oishi himself, which I think aided in my ability to be Keiichi because I could really just immediately suck right into the role. So I say Jax for sure, and then honorable mention, I never actually got to record with Madam as Okanogi, but I have to throw him in there because, man, if that voice doesn't just fit that face.
So true. It's so true.
So
true.
It's just so true. But I think, yeah. those are the my shout outs.
Awesome.
For sure.
Allimiece?
I mean, I have to second Jack's Keiichi. I think did a great job. But Dragon has expounded upon that, so I will say Noah as Satoshi really blew me away. I don't think I've heard too much of Noah's voice acting, and I was like, "What? That's Noah." He did a great job. I really thought that like the scene in the car where everything like deteriorated, he did a great job with that. And also Claude as Irie, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
All right, Bo?
Let me steal mine, but I'm sticking
Yeah.
with it. Noah did
Mine
a
too.
great job as Satoshi, because I think actually the only role I've seen Noah play before this was fucking
Burnley!
No, my
So her range, phenomenal. It needs to be noted. Like, Noah, you killed it. I'm so glad that you can do more than Birdley. Good for you. You
No,
did amazing.
literally. So like I knew he had it in him, but I was like worried I was gonna have to like really coach him into that scene. And then we sat down and he just fucking pulled it out. Like he barely had to redo any lines. Like he just pulled that shit out. And I went, no, where did that come from? What the fuck?
The sleeper agent.
You also have to understand how Noah is in voice calls
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, because he's like
always like,
hello,
Like,
it's a soft
what's the nickname again? I feel like that really sells it. God, what is it again? I know it's some stupid bullshit.
What is what?
His nickname in the server, because I feel like it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
Discord kitten for
Noah's
hire.
nickname in the server
Yeah.
is what was it?
Discord kitten for hire.
That's right.
yeah, that. So I'm very much used to that energy. So seeing Noah like bring some like entirely other energy and just like kill it instantly
Mhm.
was awesome.
Well, I mean, if
Oh, yeah.
anyone's here that has joined the residence server, you know Noah because he's always the first person whenever someone joins to be like, "Hi, oh my god, give me a hug, give me a kiss."
He's the one who needs to be sprayed with a bottle.
Every time,
Oh,
and that's how he is as a That's just how he is.
He's such a sweetie.
He's a sweetie. We love
He's
Noah.
so sweet.
A menace.
No,
for
he's
sweetie.
a
Yes.
yeah. I was gonna say he's an absolute
a menace.
menace.
A little
Yeah, that's why we get
gremlin.
along so well. I'm also a gremlin.
It's true. It's true.
All right, buddy. What do you think?
all right, y'all said it. I was about to say shout out to my boy Satoshi.
Satoshi's sweet.
Noah
That's a
appreciation
Satoshi.
love.
Satoshi's
He's
sweet.
not
Man,
even
if
here.
Noah ever brings up the stupid joke about the acting lessons again, you have to send him.
I
this
will.
clip.
I will. I will.
Shout out. Also, I liked Allimiece mentioned Irie's voice.
Mm.
That was good too. I feel like all the male voices that like aren't in here did a pretty good job. Actually.
So all of
I mean,
them?
to be fair, yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say every voice that
yeah.
not here is a male voice. So congrats to all
Yeah.
of you. You all did
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Okay,
congrats to
also-
all of you. But also, I guess like a shout out to the previous Rika as well.
Mm.
You will never be forgotten, and you
Our
are
condolences.
always
Oh, yeah.
in the. You are always in the basically majority of the beginning part.
We'll
She's
have,
a
we'll
full
have,
member
we'll have her
after
back
all.
someday. We'll have her back someday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someday when she comes back and is like,
I think she's.
Someday she'll
I-
come back with a sword and
I
fight
think
you
she's
for Rika's
actually
honor.
coming back this year to finish up school at near me, so it'll be a little easier to get in touch with her and get in contact. with
Mice
her,
man found her.
Mice
Mice
man
Man
found
saw
her.
her.
All right, what do you think, Kat?
Mine also was Noah. Because it was so surprising. It was so
Noah
surprising.
Sweep.
I'm just going to message him privately right now, Noah Sweep in all
Yeah.
caps, and not give him any
Yeah.
context.
There you go.
Noah
Yeah.
sweep.
Because, like we said, like if you hear Noah regularly, like you would not think that he
That.
could like come out with something like that, and then for him to be able to do that kind of performance, it was just like it made me feel emotions listening to him, and I was just like, oh,
And it
he's
wasn't
growing
like
up. He's growing up.
Yeah.
And then also
alright.
sadness because
Very
it was like a very emotional scene too. It was just like, oh dear God, this boy's scary.
Mhm.
Can I throw one more in? Because
Yeah.
I forgot it was another one I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can't go by without shouting out Tyrant as
Oh, it's
Kasai.
true. It's
Yeah.
true. Tyrant is
Because first of all, that's just his voice.
Mhm.
If you didn't know, that's just his
He
voice.
just sounds
It's
like
just
that.
that
Like
deep.
that.
He's just
He
got
just
those
sounds
like
like
vocal
that.
tones.
like that.
But specifically in that last episode
Oh,
when
God, yeah.
Kasai went full beast mode and Tyrant really got to show off his chops of getting
Yeah.
a lot of that growl and rage into that voice,
Mhm.
like it just that is exactly what a huge like mafioso man would be.
Mhm.
And like Oishi, it was very easy to just be like, yeah, that's what he sounds like. So I gotta
was
throw
it.
Tyrant in there as well.
I just
'cause
happen to
love
have a
his-
group of friends that all perfectly fit into roles in Higurashi.
Yeah.
I know it was really
It was
fun.
great. It was that's
We
why it's
all
such a good
did
first
such
project.
Good tropes.
Yeah, you guys are all listen. That's how I view the world is through tropes. So that's why I typecast so often.
Yeah, somehow Higurashi had a typecast for everybody.
Woo!
Everyone's usual
Yeah.
typecast. was
Higurashi
there.
is here for the equality.
All right, this is my
Equality.
last real question for us tonight. If you could pick one project for us to cover in the future, it can be anything as long as it doesn't
God.
already have professional English voice acting attached to it. What would it be, and who would you like to play in it? I didn't think about this question, and I have a whole list of stuff I want to cover. I'm gonna inevitably the next Patreon live stream is gonna be me going over some of the future potential projects I have in mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not fair because anything you say will probably happen.
What I will say though is obviously we're covering Steins Gate next.
Mhm.
If I love Steins Gate to pieces, so like I'm very happy I'm covering it. But if I was in a position where I didn't have to worry financially about my channel or anything like that, the next project I would actually cover is this visual novel called The House in Fata Morgana. It is one of my favorite stories of all time. The last third of it, which it's like a 30-hour visual novel, the last third of it was just me sobbing, constantly sobbing, which is not something I normally do. I'll let out a couple tears here or there, but I was bawling my eyes out. And I relate.
Reagan can confirm.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, he wasn't
yeah,
even there.
literally,
He was
like-
gone. Half the reason
No,
I was.
I was on vacation. I came back from like a week of vacation, and she was like still puffy-eyed, and she was just like, "Dude, Fata Morgana fucked me up,
Well,
man." Like,
Half the reason I think it affected
so
me so
funny.
much is because the point of there's this romance in it where two of the characters essentially, to not spoil anything, go long distance for a very long time, and the female character kind of goes a little nuts about it because it's a very, 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 very long time. And Dragon and I, of course, started out long distance, and I related to her in an intense way that I don't always care to admit.
Hedgehog, like she just like me for real,
Literally.
No, because
But
my
no,
partner were
my plan is after Steins Gate to cover the house in Fata Morgana, and I am immensely looking forward to it. But mostly just because I just want Dragon and Allimiece to learn the story, and they never will otherwise. So I am going to force them into a call with me before we start recording, and I will plug the entire plot into their eardrums, and they will have to sit there and listen to me for 2 hours while I talk about the plot of Fata
Lore
Morgana.
drop. She's been telling me, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys in a call, and it's gonna be 2 hours. We're not gonna record anything. I'm just gonna lore dump on you." And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that.
guess we're doing that."
You're gonna have to deal with that. Everybody else gets to be kept entirely in the dark because it'll work better that way.
In
But
the dark,
Allimiece and Dragon
in the
need to know the
dark,
plot for
in
their
the
characters. All right, that's me. Dragon.
Okay, so we did talk about it a little already, but there is no feasible way we could ever do this. However,
I know exactly what you're
if
saying.
we did an analysis or a dub of Homestuck, it would go crazy. It would go absolutely cuckoo bananas. Allimiece would be the
So
furry. It would be
Yep.
great.
We
Sorry, that's
literally-
my shade. I have to. Throw.
About a month
But-
ago, we literally spent an entire evening casting every single character in Homestuck to
Yeah.
our crew right now.
But like there are hundreds.
I got
there are
cast as.
hundreds.
Bo was Terezi. I want you to know this, Bo. You
yeah,
were Terezi.
you were Terezi, of
Yes.
course.
As long as Bean Mayor comes back. Then,
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes. Dragon will be the mayor.
I have to. But no, if we could
Oh.
do Homestuck in some kind of logistical way
Madam, who am I?
I
I
would
must
do it.
know.
right away
It would
because
take
I,
us
it would
like a
go
decade, but you know,
yeah,
Time
it's so
Slot
long. There's
still hasn't come
hundreds of
out, so-
characters.
Who would Madam be?
I feel like
I'm
we
about
could still
to.
do Time
Who
Slot
did
and come
who
out
did we
first.
cast Madam as Dragon?
I said Madam would make a really good
Oh,
solid.
that's right. We went back. This is the one
and
we
then
really went back and
you
forth on.
countered me with saying that you think he'd be a better
I think he
car
would be a better car cat. Yep.
But I thought Mice Man would be a better car cat, and that was our
Ooh.
debate.
That was our debate mostly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We
Mostly
struggled. We
because Mice
struggled
Man's got
over you,
better,
Mouse
like
Man. Or
4chan
Madam.
rage
We-
that car cat really needs to bring to the table.
And also Magical of Shadow, I was Rose and Vriska. That was my because most every female passing voice actor had to double up at the very minimum. So I was Rose and Vriska in our
Yep,
cast.
Allimiece was
Kanaya and Jade.
Kanaya has to be because you have to be typecast.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
you know, I think if anyone's gonna play the lesbian vampire,
Lesbian
it's
vampire.
gotta be
Chainsaw wielding
you.
lesbian vampire.
Chainsaw wielding lesbian vampire. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Cat was
Oh, Cat was Feferi.
Feferi?
Yep, Cat was Feferi. And
and
Tracks.
what else?
there was
Was it Nepeta? No, that was that Bo's other character? Who was Nepeta?
I was
it Bunny?
surprised that you said
Was it
Nepeta,
Bunny?
That wasn't me, but
Might have been
I
Bunny.
know not.
I know not who you speak.
Yeah.
Or, no,
I
did
know
you also
not.
say that you were going to, since we were gonna also voice the ancestors and stuff too, weren't you gonna say that you were gonna have to like sit Cat down and be like, all right, we're gonna have to try to see if you can do Mina?
Yes, because Mina was the struggle point for Cat, but Feferi obviously quite naturally Feferi.
Because Mina is this like rad punk that has like a nautical accent and only talks in
talks in-
fish
she
puns.
talks in a
and it was
Cockney
gonna be-
accent.
Oh,
because none of the
wow.
words are spelled
God,
correctly.
how
They
does
all
that-
have fishes in them.
Like, how does that sound?
Very difficult. I had a lot of trouble finding a voice for her too. It was I need a line. But it was definitely Feferi, and I know there was one
Not like
other. Was it Aradia?
Mirida's voice from
Yes.
Yes, I
not
think
like that.
no, we were
Like
talking
the-
about
Oh,
Aradia.
okay.
So it was Feferi and Aradia. I think we cast. you guys.
Aradia, yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
it was
other
for
one
Fairy
that you
And
were
then-
like, yeah, no, Cat could easily pull that.
And then Bunny was definitely Nepeta, and who else was she? It was
Nepeta Bunny, for your
I'm
information,
about to
is
look this
a
up.
yes.
I
She
also
is the shipper. She ships all
Oh,
of her
God.
friends together.
She's also a
this-
cat girl.
Oh
She's like
God.
a cat girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I am a Leo, Sun and Rising.
Hey,
There
there you
you
go.
Yeah.
We pinned it. We
And then
pinned it.
Aquarius Moon.
Oh,
Yeah, but, yeah.
And then who was the other character?
I'm trying to. Someone was Jane, but that was who was Jane?
That was also Allimiece.
Maybe. That's the thing, is because there were hundreds of characters,
Yeah.
everyone would have to like 4 up,
Yeah.
5 up
Yeah.
on characters. So it could never happen. But like that's why I choose
Yeah.
it, is because I think it would be really fun.
Yeah.
It'd be super interesting.
It'd be hard as
Uh,
I want to
balls.
know who else I was typecast as besides Terezi. I'm so curious.
I know that we threw you some bangers. I'm
Yes.
just trying to remember
Who they
because
were.
this was like weeks ago.
Obviously,
so I don't-
obviously, if you were Trezzy, you were also
Latula
Latula.
and I forget the final ancestor's name.
Fuck.
God.
Executioner? No.
No, you were like the lawyer lady.
Yeah, Dragon something?
yeah, something like that. I don't remember her name,
They're
but yeah.
so-
Anyway,
I'll have to ask
Anyway,
later.
let's move on. We're getting in the weeds. We're getting in the weeds. Ow.
Let me tell you all about Homestuck.
Yeah,
from start to
exactly.
finish.
Yeah, here we
No,
go.
like-
Red Glare.
We
I've
won't-
seen the characters in
Yes.
art, but I've never
Yeah,
watched.
we won't be able to cover Homestuck. We probably will be able to cover Cyclonials though, which is Jesse's other work. That has 3 characters in it instead of 100, and it will take us 2 hours to cover instead of 20,000.
And that has a little more like analysis for you
Yeah,
to do versus Homestuck, which is just kind of ultimately like a story. There
elaborate
is some
post?
analysis you could do, but
Yeah.
it is a like 20,000 page,
Yeah.
10,000 page.
Would it be
shitpost.
like condensing it pretty
Yeah,
much?
it'd
would
be
be
yeah.
the video.
It'd be
Your
rough.
video would be, hey, you don't want to read all this shit.
Here,
Here,
look at
I
it
read
for
this
you."
for you, so you don't
Don't
have
honestly,
to.
but honestly,
All right.
Homestuck is
Yeah.
just something that I wouldn't even want to cover because it's just so good on its own. Like a lot of my writing style is inspired directly by how Andrew Hussey writes dialogue.
I feel like if we were to do Homestuck, we would have to do something like Octopimp, kind of, where it's just
Yeah.
like comics.
That's probably what we'd do. All
Yeah.
right, anyway, let's move on before we get too in the weeds.
Next.
Allimiece, if we could cover something, what would you want it to be?
I don't read that many visual novels, thus why Hedge has to drag me
Kicking and screaming.
Kicking and
story.
screaming.
But please play Scarlet Hollow. Play Scarlet
I
Hollow,
will!
I beg you.
I
Play
will!
Scarlet Hollow, everyone. Give Black Tabby Games money so that they can have money while they continue to cook with Scarlet Hollow because it's being released episodically. They are the people who did Slay the Princess, if you know Slay the Princess.
Yes.
But this is like a sort of monster of the
okay,
week
yeah.
scripted offering with more gameplay choices. And if I got the chance, I would really want to play Tabitha. And then, of course, Frou Frou the cat. Frou Frou the French cat, obviously.
Oh, Dragon, you forgot to mention who
Um,
you'd want to play.
Oh, that's right. That was a part of that
Yeah.
question. We got sidetracked with
Yeah.
Homestuck, and we said, here's who everyone else would play. I didn't say who I'd play. Um, I feel like if I don't play Dave and Dirk, someone will riot, and it might be me.
It will be me.
It would be
So
me.
I'd have to play the Striders for sure, and then I think if I don't play Gamzee, Hedgehog
I will riot!
So I guess I'd have to play the Striders and Gamzee,
Yep.
and that would probably have to be my cast based
Yeah.
off of sheer riot factor.
Anyway,
alone.
sorry,
Nobody else
Allimiece.
can do this Muppet scene, or I will riot.
Anyway, Allimiece, any more thoughts on yours? Sorry we interrupted you.
Just that I really love Scarlet Hollow, and if anyone does want to look up the characters or play it later, Hedge would obviously be Stella, Dragon would probably be Reese, and also the dude on the bus at the beginning. You get it if you.
The fact
play
that you
game.
don't have a name and you just say "dude on the bus" makes me really want to play this character.
Dude on the
Hedge
bus.
on the bus.
Boop, boop.
And then Hedge and I would have to fist fight over Joan because Joan is awesome. So
Fair enough. All right, Bo, what would your pick be?
Okay, so I've got a few whack ass options here, so I'll go with the most serious one. which would definitely be I have hardcore mouth-washing brain rot, but unfortunately, like, there's only like 4 or 5 characters. 5 characters, so it's not like you could really get much out of that for the group. And realistically, Belle would have to be Anya because she's the only woman on the ship. But in this ideal scenario, I relate to Anya a lot. As if she's a survivor of a certain thing, and so am I. So I have a lot of big feelings for Anya. I love her a lot, and I love mouthwashing a lot, and I think about it way. And I have such brainworms.
So many worms.
Yeah, everyone's freaking out about mouthwashing.
Yeah,
by the way.
I got
Madam
it.
specifically
I got
super,
it bought
super
for me
into
for
it.
Christmas. I'm going to stream it very soon. I believe so.
Please, if I
Yes.
can be there for that stream, please let me know when you're going to do it.
think
I love
it's-
that game
I think it's
much.
probably going to be next week.
Anya, my God,
On
says
Sunday.
Adam.
If you're not, I know you're free Sunday nights usually. So it's next week.
I'm always free Sunday nights
Okay.
now, actually. so.
Next week Sunday evening is probably when I'm gonna do. 'Cause I think Dragon is working,
Oh.
so
Uh,
we can't play more Amanda because I think it'll be.
Yeah, I ended up having to pick up a shift.
Yep.
So make it
Right.
happen.
Oh,
Mouthwashing.
no.
But yeah, I also think for those who know, I feel like hearing Dragon do a Swansea would be really funny. He's like the very like angsty, drunken dad kind of character. It would be really funny. So that's like my most serious answer. My bit answer is kind of I don't know if anyone's gonna remember this fucking show, and it only half counts because they didn't fully dub the series. I don't even know if they finished the anime, but if anyone has watched Keroro Gunso, fucking Sergeant Frog, that show.
Oh, Sergeant Frog! I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Yeah, no, it was just so fucking whack all of the time. It was really goofy, and it didn't get a full dub, so it counts. And I think it'd be really funny to hear us be all unhinged frog aliens.
Fair enough.
Huh.
Fair enough.
I want to be a frog.
And I would probably be the cute, like, socially unaware, probably autistic ninja girl, because mood.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
All right,
feel like
Bunny.
I'm very
What's
into
your
those conversations.
pick? I think I know what it might be, but what's your pick?
I have a few, and they're all serious. But the first one's okay. I wrote, okay, hear me out.
Mine are-
Oh,
Because
no.
you already talked about it, and you're like, we can't right now. But Umineko would be like, people want it, and
Oh,
it's really, it doesn't have a dub. It would be a big
I
project.
will do
but
it as soon as I am physically able. Trust me,
Yeah,
I love it just
I
as
was
much
I
as
was
you
gonna
do.
say
I- oh
you
my
match
God.
Hedgehog. She wants to do
I
it
want,
just
dude.
as bad.
If I have to die without playing Beatrice, I think I'll die again.
I would be open to playing quite
Double
a few
Yeah.
characters, and
We'll all
but
have to
also I
double
feel
up
like
for
there's
sure.
one-
So
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's definitely one that based on the casting for Higurashi.
you will be
it
playing,
would
yes.
make sense. Yeah.
So if you
Um,
could play another
but-
character, Numeneko, though.
Wait, that's interesting. I thought you already played that character.
Oh yeah, you
Smile.
did. There was a line.
Ooh.
Kanata.
But yeah, so ooh, there's like, I mean, it probably like, I don't know. Maybe a bunch of like the bunny side characters,
fair.
like the bunny
Oh, I love the bunnies.
things. I could do Maria, but I also feel like Kat could do Maria.
Aw.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking because she's kind of also, without spoiling too much, because she's kind of also along the same vein. I was thinking of having you as both the character we already know and Erika Furudo. I was thinking about
Oh
that.
yeah,
I was thinking about that.
that would be
I
so
was
fun.
thinking about
Wait,
that.
I would love that. Yeah.
that
Actually,
was
yes.
that was my initial thought when I was playing the game for my casting. I was
Actually,
thinking,
yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad
Okay,
you're
but
pleased with that.
my other ones are ones that are not that one,
Yeah.
and they are serious. So, I already kind of mentioned this, but Omori, if you ever get
Mhm.
around to actually playing through like multiple, like the whole game,
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
get through the whole game, that doesn't have voices. I have no idea who or what I would voice. Probably the side stuff. I don't know. I don't know, but I just think it would be a really, really good one for you to analyze because it's got a lot.
I've heard
there.
really good things about it. I
Um,
streamed it once, but I
yeah.
only got through the first like 2 hours of it. I'll inevitably
Yeah.
finish it someday.
Yeah. And then another one is Fran Bow.
Oh, I love
I
Frank.
love Fran Bow. I
Love
would want to
Franbo.
voice Fran so bad.
I think you would make a great
'cause I
Fran
just
if we
love
did
it.
that project. I would be
Yeah,
amenable
I
to
love
that casting.
Franbo.
Yes.
And then one more is not out yet, but it looks really good, and you should all look it up if you don't know. It's called Habromania, and it's by Okay, so Habromania has not even come out yet, but I would want to voice Alice so bad. I always say this. I'm like, I want to play Alice in any variation of
Queen of
Alice in
Hearts!
Wonderland. At one point in my life, I would want to play Alice so bad. So Habromania,
I would
I'm so
want to
excited
be
for it to come out. And
Why do you guys all know
yeah.
about this? What is this?
It's
I
so
heavily
insane that currently in
identify with the
It's-
imagery because the
it's-
way
it's
that
so
they
adventure, yeah.
drew.
Go
The
ahead.
way they drew Alice younger, like in
Oh.
the movie version, where with the blonde hair, and I'm like, that's what I looked like. And then
What
the
was
Alice
it called again?
version,
Habromania.
Habromania, yeah, by Symphony
Habro-
Sonata.
Oh, this looks up my
Ooh.
alley for sure.
see.
Yes, I love it. The art style, but
I'm
also
sorry.
the Alice in that.
Dragon
that
will
they
have
drew,
to be
I
the
was
Hatter.
Like,
He's cute.
I was like,
What about that
excuse
means I
me.
don't get to be the Queen of Hearts
It's
because they are
cute.
like,
Her
kind of a
hair
thing.
color tone, and I was like, I love this.
Oh my gosh.
So
I would
I'm
want to
so
be
excited for
Cheshire.
it.
Dark
Yeah.
retelling of
Cheshire
Alice in
Cat.
Wonderland as like basically a bunch of ghosts from a psychiatric unit.
That
It's
is
super
awesome.
interesting.
I am definitely interested in this
I was
game.
gonna say, Bunny, that's one that Hedge is 100% going to like.
Oh,
peek
absolutely.
at because that is so insanely up her
Yep,
alley.
yep.
I know it.
Hang on, there's
I-
one
yeah, I'm so
specific,
excited.
You might make Kirby cry because he loves
Short
anything
that I need
Alice in
to-
Wonderland.
hang on.
I made him cry with Higurashi already.
I know.
Yeah, have we ever said that story like
yeah,
publicly?
Kat, tell us that story really quick, and then we're gonna wrap up.
God. Wait, which one?
The one about when Kirby found out who you were playing.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Kirby
when
is
Kirby,
Kirby is Kat's boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah,
Cat's
who's
boyfriend.
that?
Cat's boyfriend. Yeah. So when Hedgehog cast me for Hangyu, I forget if I told Kirby right away or not. But when I finally had told Kirby, I was like, "Hey, guess what?" And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, Hedgehog asked me to do some voice acting, and so I'm gonna get to do that soon." And he's like, "Oh, what's it for?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Higurashi." And he just like stares like blankly, and I'm like, "I'm gonna be playing Hangyu," and he just like bursts into like the happy like oh, she's
That all cut out.
I was gonna say it all cut out.
Yeah,
But it
I-
probably sounded
Great.
yeah, probably sounded great, but he was like, "You're really voicing Hangyu."
It was very funny. It was very funny to hear about this later.
He can't hear me right now because he's got his headphones in. He's playing
He's got his
Apex.
AirPods.
His
I can't
Oh wait,
hear
you can hear me? Oh, okay.
Were there any more, Bunny, you had in mind, or was that?
So those were the ones because I also wrote down. I was like, you already did this. Like you kind of began with it. Doki Doki. I would have voiced Sayori.
You make a great
But you
Sayori.
already
Sorry,
did
I'm
that.
already
Maybe,
there. I'm already
yeah.
there.
Maybe someday I'll do a callback to Doki Doki with
Visited.
Throwback.
me
Doki Doki
with
100
me
years
only
later.
playing one
Other
character for
female
once.
voice
Yeah.
actor.
And then we can voice the other girls.
All right, cool. Kat, what would you like us to?
Okay, I feel like mine are going to be taken as funny ha-has, but I'm like slightly serious about them.
Serious face.
Okay, because I know you already saw them in my message. So I would absolutely love to. There's like 3. The last one is sounds serious. The first 2 don't sound serious, okay? But I am serious about all of them. Okay, the first one is the KFC dating simulator. I would absolutely
Oh my
love to play the best friend.
Allimiece is freaking out right now.
I would love to do that one. Because there's so many different like options for like where you can go in the game, and it would be really just funny to do like an analysis about a game that wasn't necessarily supposed to be taken seriously, but so many people took it so seriously. And then the other one, that's gonna sound funny that I'm very serious about is there's a app called Dorian
You've
where you
told
get
me
to
about
play.
this.
Yeah, you get to play a bunch of dating sim, like it's like dating RPG, not RPGs, but like dating games where
Yeah,
you have to
they're-
like select what you're gonna say or
They're
whatever.
visual novels.
Visual novel, yeah. But this one is called Sharkbait, and it's about shark boys, and I would love to get to play the lemon shark.
Gotten ads for that.
Shark boy.
I want to be the lemon shark. I've never voiced a male character before, so it would be an interesting like test of like acting. And then my actually like it sounds serious one is I think it would be fun to do. There's a manga called Villains Are Destined to Die.
This is the one you were
it's
always telling me about. Yep.
yeah, it's such a good story, and I think it would be really fun to get to voice the villainess of the story for that one, just because of I'm trying to remember. I think it was she was a normal girl, gets sucked into this dating game that she downloaded, and she's playing it on hard mode, where like one wrong move and she's dead. And so she's like having to be she's having to be like super very careful about her choices and like who she's wooing and like what she does. And so like for her two brothers, she's like I'm not going to like do anything with them. That's weird. Like they don't care about me, and then she's like I can't go for the prince cuz he's going to kill me. She's like I can't really like she can't really choose anyone to really be like the love interest because no matter who she chooses in hard mode, it's like immediate like game over. And so a lot of her actions are like not trying to woo them, so it's really funny to see like what happens with her and like the other like the male characters for like her love interests.
So she's trying to like not woo them because if she gets down their track and fails, she'd like die. Is that
so like in hard mode? When she like starts off in the story, she's playing this RPG on her phone, and she starts off with easy mode where she is like meant to like try and woo all these characters and stuff, and like people I think in easy mode you play as somebody else. If I remember the story correct, it's been a while since I've read the first book for it. I'm on book 6 waiting for book 7. I think is where they're at. But in book 1 they talk about like in the dating game in the easy mode you play as this other girl, and in hard mode you're playing as the villainess to try and win all the male characters' love.
Okay.
But when you're playing the villainess, like you cannot succeed. Like she played this game over and over again on her phone before she even got sucked into the game, and then she gets sucked into the game, and the game's basically like, all right, this is your basically final chance to play as the villainess. As the villainess, like, and it's like she's like, oh god, I could literally die at any moment with any choice that I make. And so she's like super having to be like very analytical about what she's doing, and has to like kind of think of like, okay, what consequence could any of these actions are, because she still gets like prompts from the game as to like what she should do. Yeah, so it's such a good story. Like I don't remember when book 7's coming out, but I'm like, why isn't it out already? Why don't I have it in my
I remember
hand?
the art being very pretty in it too.
It is
It's
also
gorgeous
very
art.
beautiful art. Like it is the only one of the few manga where it's full color throughout the whole story.
Oh,
Like
I
there's
love
no
that.
black and white. It's done in full color, and what's great about it is that quality from like you see in black and white doesn't change going over to the full color, because I know sometimes when they do full color for manga, that quality of like the outline can sometimes drop, because I've seen a couple of manga that are in all color where I'm just like, this quality doesn't match the cover. And I'm assuming it has to do with budget and how much time that they have to do all the art for a full color thing. But for this one, it's like the artist just took so much time to like make sure that even though it was still in full color, that they took that time to make sure it all still looked very good, and I just love it.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I forgot one.
What was the one you forgot?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I should have brought this up because you guys were talking about Danganronpa and I have not read that.
You should. It's very good.
But it's
would
this
love it,
is
actually.
basically that actually. But it's Magical Girl Raising Project. I don't think it has English
Yes,
voices.
Kirby's read
I
that
love
one.
it.
He
I would
loves
want to
it.
voice Nemorine so bad. She like dies first. But I just I vibe with
Spoiler.
it. But it's basically Danganronpa, but like magical girls, and I really liked it.
Magical
sounds
girls.
fun.
Hell yeah.
From what I know of Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I do have one more because you wouldn't. I know you want it, but you wouldn't say it.
Yes.
Do it.
A full dub of Edie Valley?
Ah,
What? A third
yes.
plug in one video?
I know Belle's talked to me about this
Yeah,
one.
everybody in this call is cast as my original
But in
stories.
actuality, though, like I actually think it'd be really fun.
That's my goal
Mhm.
someday. Someday is that my channel is big enough that I can crowdfund a full cast recording of Edie Valley. That's what all
It
the
would
announced
be
videos are.
so
It's
much
training.
fun.
It's training for all of you to be great when by the time I need you for my own shit.
Triple
Because if
plug
it comes to recording
combo.
Edie Valley, I
Yeah.
will not handle any fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
But I also have one more before we finish up.
Yes.
That I forgot is it's actually not one, but it's like kind of the trifecta of like horror visual novels from like the early 2010s of like Mad Father and
Oh, yeah.
and all of those.
All the RPG Maker horror games. Yep.
all the
mhm.
like the Hanged Man.
I'm actually
The Moon.
Yes, I'm actually planning to at some point do a video that's just me talking about every single RPG Maker horror game in existence. And there will be some voice acting. It'll be very minor, but there will be some voice acting.
Yay.
Magil of Shadow, is Hedgehog gonna stay voicing Doug? Unfortunately, I will not be voicing Doug in the full cast. As much as I know you'll all miss it, as much as I know
Doug will
you'll
get
all
some
miss my Doug
stinky
voice.
asshole to voice
Yeah,
him
we're gonna get
instead,
some
I
other
think.
asshole to voice him instead.
Fucker.
Some other fucker. It's okay. He's the only fucker who can voice him better than me, so you know.
Well, maybe Bake. You might still have Doug over.
That's true.
me,
I
but
do
maybe
actually do a pretty fucking good Doug Bailey. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So
Doug.
moving on.
Sorry, I do have one more. I gotta
Yes.
throw one more in there.
Yes.
Because Bo reminded me of that. Oh yeah, you can do things that just have text that aren't voiced or like visual novels or anything.
You're welcome.
Please, Inscription. There is no voicing in it.
It's
we can
true.
do
It's true. There is. It's true. There's no voice.
No, that's like my favorite game of all time.
It is,
So
it is.
it wouldn't make sense to do it.
It
but
would be very difficult and
there'd
not
only be
sensible to do it.
4
but-
characters.
See,
But
we
if
just
I
need to
could
get
be
the
Leshy,
Patreon
I'd
enough
cry.
subscribers and patrons where we all can just choose our ideal one and we all just go ham.
As my favorite Edie Valley character, I can't hear Doug without your voice. I don't know if I can handle some other loser being voiced by him, or some other lesser being voicing him. I think you'll be pleased with who I've picked. I think he's the only person on the planet who can probably voice Doug as well as I can. It'll be a little different, but it'll.
You'll
be
hear
fun.
him eventually.
You'll hear him eventually. Yeah, you will hear a sneak
Eventually.
preview eventually.
Actually, to be fair, technically, Doug has already been voiced by this person. I don't know why I'm being
it's
quiet,
you.
Yeah.
in the Doug that's the Doug
Yep,
that's
the Doug the Stole
Dragon.
Discord. Yeah, you can see a
or the
preview
Doug that
of.
Stole Discord.
You can see a preview of Dragon's Doug if you look at the
where we
animatic he
do
made.
a shitty Jim Carrey's The
Carrey's The
Grinch
Grinch.
edit
Yeah.
of animatic of Doug and Kay.
Yep. Yeah, but it will be spoilers unless you're in Arc 3, so wait until
Yeah,
then.
yeah, definitely
Wait until then.
don't.
All right, so let's start wrapping up. Before we do, are there any final thoughts for our audience? Anybody have anything to say before we wrap up?
Awa awa.
Wow. Very good.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
Wow.
Very
I would like to
good.
say, 'cause none of us can be normal. Thank you guys so
Nika.
much for supporting the channel, supporting Belle, and listening to us ramble about our nonsense. Support us
It is
like you
indeed
know.
Hedgehog's nonsense. That was perfect.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Belle, and Belle's amazing, an amazing writer, an amazing like YouTube personality. Like she's just great, and thank you for supporting
And a very
her
good
and,
friend
like,
too.
A very amazing friend.
We love you.
No, this is supposed to be about you guys. No.
Yeah, she's my friend. We're
Shut the
friends.
And
up.
Yeah, they're
roommates.
just and they were roommates.
And they're
Oh my
roommates.
God.
All right. Well, thank.
No, but
okay, good.
the fact that they allow Hedge
Ow.
to pursue the things that she likes makes me happy because she
I
gets
couldn't
to
do it without all of you.
she gets to sit down and be like, yeah, I get to, for essentially a living, I get to write, I get to record, I get to do all of the things that make
I
her
get to
super
tell
badass.
people
That makes
they
me
voiced
happy.
things wrong and they need to redo them because they
Yeah,
suck.
she gets to control people. That also makes her happy.
No, you guys are all very, very talented, and I could not do it with any of you. I'm so lucky to have so many talented voice actors at my disposal, and I'm so glad that all of them are my friends. Because I had many years where I was a very lonely kid, wishing for exactly this, and I'm glad I.
And you did it a lot yourself. Like
I
you
did.
just like built up this audience where several of the people here were like, yeah, I just wanted to work with you,
Yeah.
and that's really fucking cool.
That is really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
so many people felt so
Your
attached
friend?
to you that they decided that they wanted to join the community and stuff. And obviously, early on, that led to the friend group, which we talked about this a lot at HedgeCon, but obviously, like
Mhm.
HedgeCon, an unofficial name for a friend meetup.
Meetup.
But like we.
What do you mean? It was a con.
It was a con.
It was to be fair, it was a
Yeah,
con.
there was a ball
There
pit.
was a ball
There
pit.
was a
There was a
ball
ball
pit.
pit.
There's a ball pit right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a ball pit right
We're
now.
at a con right now. There's a
I
ball
couldn't
pit.
get to
We're at a con
HedgeCon,
right
but I
now.
brought my own ball pit.
This is a
Next
convention
time,
panel.
next time, Bo. You and Allimiece both have to be there, and Bunny. Everybody's got to be there next time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Everyone's gonna be there next time.
But
Everybody.
the
Just
fact
move
that
it.
people felt so
With Coda.
strongly that like we've developed a friend group, we've developed like intercommunication with each other. You've developed multiple successful channels, a community, like an audience, that kind of stuff. So it's cool.
Really proud of you.
Thank you.
And
So
thank you,
proud.
guys, to patrons
Shy.
here that are
Ow.
supporting her because she deserves every bit of it and more.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
right. I
got to
forgot
do
this was a
what you can to
Patreon thing.
represent it.
This is a Patreon exclusive live stream. All right.
You all allow her to keep doing this because she needs money.
I need money badly. I need money
We
to
are
keep
all
doing this.
need money.
We all need money.
We are all need
Oh,
money.
need money.
We
Okay.
all need money.
So, now I'm gonna open it up to the floor. Does anybody in our audience have any questions for us before we wrap up the stream? We have to
Give
wait
us
a
the
minute for them to
questions.
catch up.
Yeah, because this
Everyone
is
just stare intently at the
behind.
camera.
Let's not do that. Mr. Sir says sub to the patron at a higher tier than you currently are. Yeah, Matt,
I'm
do that.
staring at the camera.
Guys, if everyone here donates $100 a month, we can
Oh God.
Maybe pay rent.
Maybe,
pay rent.
maybe
Yeah,
just
we
barely.
might still not be able
Maybe
to pay
just
rent.
barely.
But that being said,
Nothing else though.
I already did that, Hedgehog. It's true, you did. Thank you.
yeah, nothing else.
You know this. All right, it's looking like there's probably none. We did do a
No
lot
So
of
we were pretty
questions.
thorough.
We were
We
pretty
yapped
thorough.
quite a
We were
bit.
pretty
Yeah.
thorough. I'm gonna give us a couple more seconds, just on the off chance. But I think that's probably
Questions,
I'll show
comments.
you
Oh,
these.
that's
Remark.
perfect. Oh my God, that's
This
adorable.
is Rena.
Oh my
That's
god.
adorable.
So
Mini Dolphin
precious.
Dream.
Oh, look at the
She's
little
the-
lady.
The crown. Look at the little lady and the.
Which is exactly how I describe my
Look
cat.
Look at the honey.
on
It's
the
me.
bottom.
Is you?
Honey, with the cream puffs.
That's adorable.
Ow, ow,
I do you wear
Then I
wigs.
have
When do you wear
the
wigs?
Sanrio collab, and I have the Rena Nendoroid. I have.
Will
like,
you ever wear
little-
wigs?
Will
When
you wear
will
wigs?
you wear wigs?
Yeah, Mr. Sir
When
says,
will you
why do you
wear
wear wigs? Will you ever wear wigs? I wear wigs because it's fun, and
Yes.
yes, I intend to wear more of them.
I
I'm wearing
will-
a wig
I'll
right
be
now. You
fine.
just
Will you
can't
wear
tell.
wigs?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Will you wear
This
wigs?
is my interview hair.
Yes.
This is my natural hair.
Yes, that is
I just got
definitely
a
natural
haircut
hair.
actually.
This is
Oh,
I
also
did
my
get a
natural hair.
haircut.
All right, then we're gonna wrap up the stream tonight with
Yeah.
an official announcement
Oh,
of
something's
Get
happening.
the
the ref-
Steins Gate cast.
Oh,
Oh,
something's
something's
happening
happening.
to me.
Something's happening to Dragon's
I'm
background.
too afraid to turn around. What happened?
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
We're changing. We're
What
changing.
happened?
We're changing.
changing.
Things are changing.
Oh no. Wait.
So
The numbers, Mason.
what do they
The
mean?
numbers made
So
Oh no.
I am
Oh.
pleased to announce
compromised.
I'm only going to announce everybody who's here and 2 other people who are not here, just the main cast tonight. A lot of people who were in Higurashi will either be in the next Ace Attorney or will be in Steins Gate. You can probably guess who a lot of them are, but for now, the main character of Steins Gate, Okabe Rintaro, the genius mad scientist we all know and love, the broke-ass college student we all hate his guts.
The man with the jelly bananas.
The man with jelly bananas. He will, of course, be voiced by the Dragon 100. Who else?
Oh my god.
Me?
Are you?
I mean, to
And,
play a smart character will be difficult,
For
but
the record, actually, the name isn't Okabe Rintaro, it's Hoin Kiyoma! And introducing lab member number 2, Shina Mayuri, my hostage, Allimiece!
Thank you!
Lab member number 3, Hashida Itaru, or Daru, Jax Tharp! The Oishi guy. We talked about him a lot. Don't worry about it. Introducing lab member number 4, my assistant, the zombie, Celeb 17, Christina! Maki, say Kurisu.
That's me. He was
Hedgehog.
supposed to say hedgehog, and then I was going to do a
It's
whole bit
hedgehog.
where I told him my actual name, but it's fine. Okabe, you're a
hedgehog.
fuck up. Anyway.
It's hedgehog. Introducing lab member number 4, Shining Finger, Kiryu Moeka, Kai Kinda Cat! Woo!
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Lab member number 6, Urushibara Lukako, the one I would love, but he's a guy. Adra! Who you guys don't really, I mean, you guys know, but you guys might not know because Adra wasn't in Higurashi. This is Adra's spotlight role, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So, best of luck, champ. You got this.
Little pat on the
Introducing.
back.
Lab member number 7, Akiha Rumiho, also known as Ferris Nyan Nyan. Bo!
so
Sup? Bo, you weren't here for the New Year's party, but we watched Steins Gate.
They
and
guessed who
everyone-
you were immediately.
We were guessing who was who when they showed up in the anime, and everyone was like, "That's Bo. That's Bo for sure."
the typecasting wins again.
It's true. It's true. The typecasting doesn't need to win again.
And
Oh,
finally,
yeah.
lab member number 8, Amane Suzuha, the part-time warrior, Bunny!
Wing.
Yay! Yeah. So that.
We are Future Gadget Lab. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Okabe Rentaro. You fucking.
That-
Thank
she
you.
made me do
Thank
it. She was like,
you.
if you don't introduce
Thank
them as
you.
Okabe, I will cry.
Oh, I might have
did
done
say
that.
that.
I might have said that. I might have
To
said
be
She
fair,
that.
I don't think
She
I would have needed that
100%
much
said it.
poking and prodding,
No.
but she did say that.
All right, but yeah, that. So for anybody who's familiar with Steins Gate, I'm sure you're all very excited about who's playing who. If you're not familiar with Steins Gate, look it up, and you'll immediately realize, oh yeah, they all fit their characters perfectly. So.
Oh, yeah.
We're very excited. Obviously, the next video is going to be Ace Attorney, and some of us will be in that one, some of us will not be. That's mostly a vehicle to get my stupid friend Mice Man to voice act in a role that fits him. And then we'll be doing Steins Gate, and everybody here will be in that one, as you've just seen, and we're very excited to show it to you. I think it's going to be great.
So excited.
Also, I want to say, because Adra's in the chat, Adra, when I said it's their spotlight role, Adra was like, it is! It's terrifying!
They'll do great. They'll do great. All right.
Gonna be great.
Well, in that
gonna be
case, it is time to wrap up the stream. Thank you, everybody, so much for attending.
Yay.
Honestly, there are more people here than I thought there would be for the first page of live stream, so thank you for being here. And we will all see you on the streams and on the channel soon.
More Patreon live streams to come.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Oh,
I think so.
yeah.
I'm gonna try. We're gonna see how it works out, but I'm gonna try.
Content.
Content.
Go, con.
All right.
BxwieKnxfe.
But thank you everybody so much for joining us, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.